The last time on the wilds of Valandiir. Amidst the waves aboard the Kestrel, our party nestled in their beds within the magnificent mansion on Iona's gifted necklace. Emotions had run high in several directions that day. For after battling a ship of pirates, pillaging their booty, and celebrating below decks, you all find yourselves resting at night where Iona and Maven had been gossiping about Iona's recent romantic entanglements. It is about 3 a.m, and the two of you find yourselves on either end of a barrel, a little down the hall from where your bed chambers are within your mansion.
You want to tell me what's going on?
Sorry, I didn't quite catch that from Joe. Did you say we were either end of what? Sorry?
Oh yeah, you're both sitting on stools on either end of a barrel, a little bit away down the hall from your bedchamber within your mansion.
So I was just going to say it isn't right with me and Dawn. It isn't going to happen. I have figured that out. I have thought it through.
Okay. How do you feel about that? Because you seem a little out of sorts.
Because I am. Because if it was right, I would not be so out of sorts.
Okay. Are you disappointed? Are you sad? Are you relieved? I'm just trying to figure out where your head is.
Relieved, yes, because I think I've made a decision. I am still wondering if perhaps I'm letting something enjoyable go, but I am relieved, and I'm also relieved because when I went to tell Dawn this, his room was empty, and I don't know why. I don't know where he is. I left him a message instead. I had hoped to talk to him about it in person. That felt better to do, but he was not there.
Okay. Well, he could be literally anywhere. It's a big ship.
Yes, and he could look like literally anyone.
Literally anyone at this point. Yeah, so. Okay.
I do not think things would have been right in the long run.
Okay. That's fair. Do you feel like you're going to be hurting his feelings? Because if you were just relieved, you wouldn't have freaked out. You know what I mean? Wouldn't have demanded the Wizards marriage season so vehemently. So tell me what's really going on. What are you actually feeling? And
I wanted to take my mind off of things, and also I thought maybe I would feel less alone because Levin did give me this, and she's sort of calling the Wizard's marriage season. And then Iona said, I've only looked at the cover, but I can't tell if I'm meant to be her. And then she sort of points to the woman, or if Levin gave it to me because he thinks they're both my type. But either way, I think he was giving me this to imply that he wanted me to have some fun. Mm-hmm. And I agree that it could go, I am open to it, but not with Dawn, and not right now. I am still beholden to Kelowna, and I am not safe for someone while I am.
Okay.
I know I joke.
Mm-hmm.
I joked once about my brother and the daughter of a high priestess of Bane, but it was, when it happened, it wasn't a joke. We were teenagers. He hadn't had his face cut yet, but he liked her. He really liked her.
Mm-hmm.
But we weren't fools, so we looked into her a little and we found exactly what she'd been flirting with my brother for. They thought he'd make a fine tyrant with the right sort of push. And they were probably right, and I'm not even sure what made Levin more furious, the fact that she had not actually been infatuated with him, or the fact that the Bay Knights had not considered me worth recruiting. So we went to our aunt. We decreed, of course, that they must all die. She dealt with the high priest, and we dealt with the girl. It was sort of, I don't want to say joke, but the Black Hand of Bane is their symbol, and I held her down while my brother painted her right hand with a contact poison that had been mixed with black ink. And at the time it felt like we were striking back, like we were taking back control from someone who would have separated my brother from me and would have taken my brother away. And that was what it felt for a while like that had been a sort of triumph. But I look back and we were all three of us teenagers. And maybe she believed as much as anyone has ever believed in Bane. Maybe she was truly devoted, but maybe she was just like us. Maybe she could have gotten out, and we made sure she never would. And I think I thought about that, and I've thought about the men that Ara had for a few months at a time and then discarded, and the one who lasted the longest with her wasn't even handsome in my opinion, but the Talontar are not, they are not safe to be with, and I still am, for whatever that is still worth, for whatever Helena thinks of me presently, which is not so very much.
I'm trying to figure out, are you more afraid of hurting him because of who you are, or are you more afraid that he's going to hurt you because of who he is?
I am afraid that one day turned and be nothing like who he had seemed up until that point to me, and I know that I've spent my entire adult life safe in the knowledge that if I was ever with someone who suddenly turned on me, I could turn my skin to poison, and then they would have a very unpleasant situation on hand.
Fair.
As you guys are deep in the middle of this conversation, you hear a large scrape of a foot outside the doorway that you guys are in, and you hear now. You suddenly realize that you have been hearing the trying to be quiet, very large, heavy breathing of someone outside that you know to be Koza.
Koza.
And he pokes his head through the doorway and he says, "I'm sorry, I was not intentionally eavesdropping. I was walking by," and you see that he has in his hands now like armfuls of produce and like salami and stuff, and he's like, "I was just getting a snack, and I heard it was very, very intense, and I did not want to interrupt. I'm do you guys want any? And he doesn't step into the room, but he kind of leans into it and he just offers there's radishes and stalks of celery.
They would just give him a very indulgent look and says, I think we're okay, but thank you.
And he's just really looking in different directions, making absolutely no eye contact. And he's like, okay, I'm terribly sorry. I will leave you ladies to it. And he goes to turn around and he slows and stops just for a half a second. And he doesn't turn around, but he turns his head. And he kind of just says under his breath, I did hear some. And for what it's worth, Iona, I think you're a better person than this Talona would want you to be. And I think you deserve to do something that makes you happy. But that's none of my business, and I'll see you in the morning. And he's going to tiptoe stomp down the aisle in your magnificent mansion towards where his big, large bedroom is. And he's going to, purposefully audibly close his door so you know that he's put away.
He's probably right, But until you believe it, there's not really much we can do.
I disobeyed her earlier this evening. Talona, I've never done that before. She ordered me not to do something. I did it anyway.
Yeah.
I've never done that before. I spent decades being the most perfect Talentar that I ever could be because it was the only way to have power, the status, safety from my aunt. But I don't regret it. I do not regret it at all, and that is a very strange thing to feel.
You shouldn't, and made you who you are. And if you haven't noticed, the crown collectors at least like you a lot.
I know, I am lucky. I am lucky of that. I am lucky of that, and I acknowledge it, and as much as being a malagent is in its way a type of cage, I cannot help but think if I turn away, what does that mean of those years I spent doing the opposite? They took my brother's faith, and I wanted to be the one to do that because it had to happen, and then I barely less than 2 decades later, I would walk away or be less of a malagent and a priestess that I have always been.
It's hard letting go. But there is an old proverb. You let go or you get dragged. So if it's not serving anymore and you don't want to be dragged into it, just let it go. And it's a lot easier said than done. Trust me.
Well, I've been dragged into plenty of things since I started wandering around the crown collectors.
That's fair. We kind of stir up trouble.
Handle.
I have a question. I'm sorry for interrupting. Is anybody psychically linked to Baranor right now?
I don't know. Baranor, when was the last time you did this?
Well, I think the mansion is on a different plane of existence.
Yes.
True.
But I'm going to say that is able to cross. Your psychic link is able to cross in terms of this. Almost because you're familiar with that plane, you've been to it a few times.
Okay, but I don't think we were psychically linked for a while now, right?
Okay. All right.
Please don't
just
either.
Just asking.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm connected to Maven through the earrings, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, and you're asleep. Yeah.
We stir up trouble. We have people that don't like us very well, and we have people that like us really well. But a lot of times, get that awful prince. She pulls a face.
And Iona just sort of looks up at Maven and says, well, do you know how awful I could have been before? You know, I would have probably, 2 years ago, if I'd come across your monastery, I would probably, aside from burning it down, I'd probably have ended up sleeping with a Giva. It would have been...
Ew.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, she'd be attractive if it weren't for her personality.
Her personality. Ugh.
Old bruises resurface in your memory.
Sometimes. Yeah. We all have terrible taste when we're young. We'll grow out of it, I promise.
Dawn could have been fun, but it didn't feel right, and I don't want to keep doing things that are halfway into things that could be wrong. I am trying to be better than that.
Okay. And nobody is saying you have to like the guy. He seems nice enough, but I don't know him very well, but...
I do like him in my way, but...
If you're not ready for that, I wouldn't suggest jumping in the... Oh, God. Yeah. Takes a lot. It is incredibly stressful, but also absolutely the best thing I've ever done. And I've done a lot. There are a few Cambions down in the hills that'll tell you that.
And sort of nods, like she's acknowledging considering that full moment.
I can barely hear you. I don't know if that's just me, though.
Okay,
Were you speaking to us?
Enough to my mic that it should be picking things up. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
We gotcha.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so Iona just sort of nods like she's giving you that cool moment of acknowledging that.
Yeah.
And... yeah.
But yeah, if you're not ready, hon, you are not ready, and nobody should force you into it. It's like having children.
Well, it's not just a matter of whether I'm ready, which I suspect I may not be. It's a matter of, as we've discussed, I am not safe, and while I am better than I was, there is I am not quite good people.
Okay.
She sort of does a quote marks enough for the sort of person I would feel ready to be with.
Want to work on yourself before you get into a relationship.
Iona, your emotions abound. They swirl about your head, and suddenly you feel that swirling about your eyelids. And you can feel an exhaustion, an emotional exhaustion that begins to take form on your fatigue as the night grows late. Karisha's still sleeping. Is there anything anybody wished to do before calling it a night?
Well, I've already called it a night, so...
Yep, yeah, you're out.
Cool.
Yeah, Iona's gonna go to her room after sort of saying goodnight to Maven, and she's going to read The Wizard's Marriage Season, because it's not a long read, and it's not very good, and then she's going to long rest. And I really mean it's not good. It's along the lines of Xanathos Galen is considered a poor prospect on the marriage market because he's too studious. his experimental evocation magic is too good, and he braids his hair in an old-fashioned style, which is considered unattractive. The hair braiding thing is mentioned at least once a chapter, and the chapters are quite short. Then he meets a drow paladin who's at a loose end after having broken her oath to Lol. And I'm not going to describe the rest of it because it's not good.
Oh, come on, let's do a book club right now. Book reading club. You first, then me, then me, then me.
Like at some point they probably like do it in a library, and
Well, on that
like there's
note,
a certain level of swooning and like grasping each other close, and
bulging, throbbing is used still quite a bit.
Yeah, like the female main character is called something edgy, like Vendetta, because she's a Oathbreaker paladin.
Yeah. Well, Maven, you sit in your room, and I'm going to say that you are also kind of emotionally sort of drained right now. You've both of you have braided your hair enough all night, and you actually kind of feel the pull of fresh air. Almost like you could use a walk above deck.
Okay. She'll check in on Kravish, make sure he's still happily asleep, and then
just
head up to the
logs.
deck. Head up to the deck and look out over the water.
A little bit of frost on his cheek from drool.
She'll kiss his cheek anyway, and then just head out to the deck.
So, Baranor, you have sort of you require 8 hours of sleep, correct?
Yes, I am a half elf. It's.
So, you were in your cabin.
Yes.
And at some point in the night, with how warm the seas are right now where you are, it's not cold. None of you have been cold for the past day. You're definitely heading towards warmer climes. You felt a little stifled at some point, fell asleep in a rope hammock on the side of the deck of the ship that kind of overlooks. There's not a lot of people out this time of night, and you saw something that just you've never seen before, and you're currently looking at it right now. It's out over the water. These points of light that emerge from the ocean and float a few feet above the air and disappear. And you've been kind of staring at it now for about 10 minutes as you kind of woke in the night to this glow. And you see Maven emerge from the crew corridor. And as she looks out over she's like 20 feet away from you. I don't know if she notices you or maybe she doesn't care. But you both witness this.
What is this? This seems ominous.
Yeah, and I'm going to take a history check from both of you.
Great.
Maven, you can make it at advantage.
Okay, love.
Because of where you used to live.
Okay. Advantage.
Okay. History, not my strong suit.
Yeah, 19's not bad.
No,
26?
What was that, a 26?
26. I am proficient in history, I'm finding out now.
Okay, so Maven, you have never journeyed from the port town outside of the Taliesin Monastery, but you have heard plenty of stories. And while you've never seen this phenomenon yourself, of which there is kind of no definitive explanation. There are scholars who have scientific explanations. There are religious folk. There's arcane people that all have their theories on what this is, but no one's been able to really nail down exactly what it is. If this little glowing orb rises from the ocean and disappears a few feet above the surface, if it happens to occur while you're traversing over the sea, it offers no tactile stimulus. You can't feel anything. There's no temperature variation. It's just, it's strange. And this is what gives the Ocean of Souls its name.
Seeing as Maven absolutely believes these are the souls of people, she would probably say a prayer of some sort. Because that would be... especially so many. Yeah, definitely.
How far away is...
Full prayer.
How far away is Maven from Baranor on this?
So your attention got diverted once you saw she was approaching. She stopped at the rail about 20, 30 feet away where you're kind of like hanging in like a hammock of ropes. You're like 15 feet up.
Gotcha. Okay. I know if I was also going for a stroll or whatnot, but okay, that makes sense. Okay.
Are you going to come up and talk to me, or what are we doing?
I mean, I'm 20 feet away.
Does that mean that Maven absolutely knows he's up there?
Of course. He wasn't hiding. He was just sleeping.
Like, Luna's below me.
She definitely would have seen... Oh, yeah. Okay.
Luna is probably curled up in your room, in your cabin with Fenrir. You kind of went out on your own and then just sort of fell asleep up here.
Okay, I got you.
And this, by the way, this phenomenon was not happening all night. It just kind of started as you approached maybe this area for some reason.
Okay. Couldn't sleep?
No. I also don't need to sleep as much as you, but...
Rub it in, why don't you?
From what I understand of you, you wouldn't like your elven half anyway, and she flips her hair.
Yeah. Just means four hours I'm not alert.
I mean,
or 4 more hours I'm not alert, I guess. You know anything about these things?
Yes, I know a little bit. I don't know a lot, but they
I've
are...
never been out this far on the ocean, so...
Oh, this is my first time on the ocean, other than in the little port town you saw.
Yeah, well...
But,
I only know of these in rumors.
pretty much the same. Nobody really knows, but they're believed to be the souls of people that have lost their lives at sea. How the Ocean of Souls gets its name. So...
With all the things we've seen, I wouldn't be surprised.
Fair enough. It's we've seen a lot of shit.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Sad, but also beautiful. And she looks back out at the little motes of light.
I mean, I didn't think I'd see half the stuff I, did joining the Crown Collectors. I'm sure you didn't either.
That's putting it really mildly. But yeah. You ever think about what you want to do after this?
Oh, all the time.
You gonna go back to the Jasperwood and...
I have other things that I need to do, possibly outside the Jasperwood.
Dangerous, scary things. And she lifts her eyebrows.
Definitely things that probably will test me.
I understand.
But for now, this is where I'm at. And as long as the Crown Collectors need me, I am a Crown Collector.
I think we'll always need you. What do you mean?
Yeah.
The two of you, as you chat, hear a set of approaching footsteps. They don't appear to be trying to be sneaky. Your passive insight. And you can recognize, now, mind you, the blue crescent moon, which is the only real source of light, as many of the little oil lamps that dot the deck are turned down very, very low, just so you can barely see as you walk along the rail. You see the I don't know what they're called. Maybe somebody does, but like they're the pirate boots with the flopped over cuff. And no royal blue, no gold, but a red sash that leads up to a dimly lit daunt. And he's just kind of got his hand on the rail, looking out at the ocean, and I would say you notice him before he notices you guys. And he just kind of stops, as you can now tell that he knows that you're there, but he's going to kind of he's not going to walk right up next to you. He's going to kind of stay about maybe 10 feet away and just kind of rest his arms on the rails and look out over the ocean and kind of smile at the both of you. And he doesn't really see Baranor, I'll say that. He sees Maven. And just kind of look over and say, "Good evening." Or should I say good morning?
It's about morning, I think. How are you?
Oh, I'm... Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, she's going to give up nothing. She's going to be stone-faced if she has no idea about anything that's happened between him and Iona.
Oh, wow. So what is your passive deception check?
There's a passive deception? I don't think that's a thing, but...
Oh, you got a passive for everything.
Okay, how do
Passive
I figure that
perception.
It's like 10 plus whatever it is, right?
10.
It would be, it's either 8 or 10.
That's my deception.
Oh, I looked up passive deception on Google and forgot the 5e, and then now I'm looking at like a psychology profile.
Oh, no.
My thing is that would he even think that Iona would say anything to her? So would he be suspicious in any way?
So your passive insight is able to determine that he isn't like scanning you or anything. He's not even really looking at you. He's looking out at the ocean. His body language is pretty casual, relaxed even. He looks tired, like maybe he's been here for a little bit and wants to toddle down to bed and get what little sleep he can. But no, he doesn't seem like he's suspicious of you at all.
Mm-hmm.
And the longer you think about it, he might start, but...
She's not thinking about it. Stephanie, just wanted to know that she's going to try to not let anything on as to betray Iona's confidence.
He's going to kind of go to speak, and then he's going to turn to where Baranor is, and he's going to kind of look a little, like a half startle. He's like, "Oh, didn't see you up there, man. Enjoying the view."
It's a great view. It's a little crowded up here. I take it this is a great spot for everyone to come up to. I can see why.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah, from where you are, you can see the entire deck of the ship.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a little bit, like a very thin, dim band of Aurora Borealis above your head, kind of a winding pink and purple ribbon of light. Very, very faint, nothing crazy. So you can kind of see the whole deck, and there are sailors up here. There's kind of like a night crew, but there's like 4. There's not many people. And there, where the quartermaster's wheel, the helm at the back of the ship, you guys are kind of towards the front right side of the ship. It's dark. You can't really see back there.
Okay.
And like I said, the sailors, they're tugging ropes, they're retying a knot here and there, maybe picking up a barrel and removing some contents, and just a little bit of busy work. And they're spread out. Nobody's around where they can hear you in passing.
Solid.
So Don's just going to kind of turn back to the ocean, and he's just going to kind of dip his head a little, and he's going to kind of give you kind of a curious side expression, Maven, and just say, "Can I trust you with something? Something? Well, it's a little awkward." It looks like Iona left me a note at my door.
Okay.
Well, she's made the call to hold off on pursuing anything with me, and I just want you to know, since it seems you and her are friends, that well, that's okay.
Okay.
And can't say it doesn't bring a tear to my heart, but she seems like she needs more time, yeah?
I mean, probably? Is that what she said? Because I tend to take people at their word on those kinds of things.
Well, I wouldn't want to disclose everything in the note.
Okay.
But, look, I'll take you all as any way that I can get you. And if if she needs this, then that's what I need too.
Solid decision.
And he kind of doesn't stomp his foot, but pats his foot down a little, and he says, "I haven't been around you all that much, but she's been through a lot.
It would seem so.
We've all been through a lot."
Yeah, it's true.
Anyway, just want you to know that if she needs space, I'll give her space. If she needs a friend, she's got you, and she's got me.
That's fair.
Right. Well, I think I'm ready to turn in. You two have a good rest of your enjoyment of the Ocean of Salts, and see you in the morning.
Good night.
And you watch as he walks down the rail, kind of like dragging his fingertips along the rail as he kind of continues to watch the ocean, and he descends into the quarters of the ship.
You should probably get some sleep too, Mister. I need 8 hours of sleep or else I can't function.
I was sleeping pretty quietly up here.
Did I disturb you by walking on the ship?
No, I just was feeling restless.
Yeah. It's a weird vibe.
Yeah.
To say, I mean,
Sleeping on a ship is definitely a different experience than sleeping on the ground or in a tree or even in a bed.
yeah, I don't know. I don't, wouldn't expect that I would get too motion sick, but man, I don't like this. I don't like it. I want to be on the dry ground again.
Yeah. Even though the wood is similar and the ropes are somewhat similar, it's just not the same.
No. It's very different.
The two of you kind of have your last look out to sea before parting ways in whatever direction you wish. Baranor, you, being how warm and slightly breezy it is out here, find it perfectly comfortable to continue your long rest.
Yep.
in this little rope hammock you found yourself in. Maven, I'm sure your trance comes soon.
Oh yeah, she's gonna climb into bed.
Yeah.
Very Baldur's Gate 3, like supine.
Yeah. So, I would say that everyone's dreams are rather dreamless. Everyone's quite tired. And nobody has any visions from beyond or memories that haunt. As a matter of fact, Baranor and anybody else, I think it was just Baranor, that spends the night outside the magnificent mansion is lulled to sleep by a gentle rocking of the ship's movement. You may all apply a long rest, which I don't think anybody would have really used much.
No, I really
aside, unless this was the night of the. I think this was not the night of the attack.
No, this is like several nights past. That's I think.
Baranor, you are awoken by the sound of more footsteps and chattering. It seems maybe the night crew is being relieved by the morning crew. You can see as you kind of crack your eye open, and I'm going to say that you just barely got 8 hours. Like you are not used to waking up quite this early on the regular. So you crack your eyes open, you see a thin band of pink on the horizon.
Oh.
And yeah. And it's not too long before you hear the sounds of people performing their duties. It looks like the crew complement has perhaps tripled up here, to the point now where you can hear people walking under you and even commenting on you. Some of the things they're saying are not quite so nice. You hear the term vagabond and freeloader. I just tied those ropes yesterday, that kind of stuff.
Fine. Hop out of my hammock then.
Yeah, your feet hit the deck. The floating orbs of dim light have vanished. There's no sign of them. But you are all awake. And Yuno is going to join the party with a kind of a book in his hand, as he looks like he's kind of got his night robes on still, and sit at your communal table. There's like a long bench near the back end of the crew quarters.
Okay.
I need to see if there's is the mansion still up, because she's going to try to eat something vegetarian before it dispels, and she has to eat fish.
I mean, it would have been done in the afternoon. It lasts up to 24 hours, so yeah, it's not going to be
solid.
Yeah, you guys have
I
time.
would like oatmeal
Yeah.
with mixed berries and nuts.
Okay.
Yeah, and Iona's also making the tea for people.
Oh, thank God.
I will say that at this point in the journey, everyone's stomachs have sort of settled, and you all feel, a lot more acclimated to, especially Baranor, who has not really spent much time in the mansion, but all of you have spent time outside. So I will say that while you are free to brew the tea, it is not going to give you any benefits at this point.
Okay.
But it is very tasty.
Have I awoken yet?
Oh yes, yep. I'll say it's a good 9:30 in the morning.
Baranor enjoys his bottle of boundless coffee.
Yeah.
I have a feeling that Maven's a tea drinker.
Well,
Like herbal.
There is tea available. Koza's going to be the last one to grab a bowl of mush, and you see him kind of crunch his nuts and berries into kind of a paste and sprinkle it on top. And he's going to kind of cradle his giant bowl that he has and just kind of look a little awkwardly between Iona and Maven and Daunt, who also kind of walks in on the meal, and he kind of casually sits down, doesn't really make eye contact with a lot of people, but he seems to have kind of a lifted spirits expression on his face. He's kind of given everyone sort of positive like nods of acknowledgement, and he kind of tucks in as well. Koza looks over at Iona and Maven. Terrible poker face. Terrible. And he's going to say, "So, how was everyone's night?"
Oh, fine.
Iona is
Just great.
going to look over at Koza and say, kind of pointedly, I read a book and it wasn't very good.
And he's going to kind of like, he's got like a cheek full of like cereal, and he's going to kind of crunch hard on it, and he's going to say, "Uh-huh. Well, maybe you should read a different book." And if he was any less obvious, he would wink. But he doesn't. And Yuno's going to kind of perk up, and he's going to go, here. And he's going to like take this whole conversation extraordinarily literally. And he's going to kind of slide over a book. He's like, "Try that one. That one's not bad." And he hands you a very educational and informational tome on the properties of different minerals.
Wait, is this something that he's like taken from my library, or is this something from like the magic from the mansion library, or is this something that he is just casually carrying around himself?
Yeah, you don't recognize this book, so it's definitely not from your mansion. Otherwise, you would have read it already.
Is that the book on levitation? I couldn't put that down.
Ugh.
I'm going to
Smoggy.
stab you.
You're allowed 4 puns per session. Okay, that's one.
After
that was-
how many years you're putting that on him now?
That was Baranor.
It's for millions
That was Baranor. That wasn't.
Oh my god. 0.
Yeah, well, you tell Baranor he's got 3 more.
Do they roll over? Like, if he only uses the 1, does he get to roll 3 over to the next session?
We'll see.
Great, that means.
We'll see. It's a homebrew rule.
All right, Stephanie, I'm about to start speaking, but feel free to interrupt any time with the earrings, okay?
Okay.
Okay, because I'm going to start. Yeah, well, I slept great. How about the 2 of you? Maven, did you...
It's just, babe, shut up. Stop talking.
never mind.
There we go. We had a
Never
great-
mind.
Love you.
Daunt's gonna pipe up. Me and a couple of the others saw something kind of crazy last night. It was illuminating, and he's gonna wink at Baranor.
Indeed, it was.
Anybody else ever seen that before?
I've heard of it, but I've never seen it before.
What are you talking about?
Well, I'll explain what we saw with the lights
Okay.
and stuff.
Yeah, and Krish, you've absolutely heard of this phenomenon. This is not secret knowledge that you know. There are places in this part of the world, this ocean. It's not everywhere, and it's not all the time, but there are rumors that you can see these rising orbs of light. Very ghostly, kind of translucent. You've never seen them yourself, but it Sounds exactly like everything you've ever heard about.
Oh, yeah, I've read about those. No one's really for sure what they are.
Yeah, they're really pretty.
All right, so what's on the calendar of events for today?
More ocean.
Yeah, Koza's going to kind of look around and say, yeah, I mean, we're just passengers. Not exactly anywhere we can go.
Yeah, good point.
And Koza's going to kind of say, you know, I feel like a place like this, it's a perfect place to just have a potato day. Maybe take a nap.
Love it.
Have a potato or be a potato.
Yes.
Yes.
Does that count for most places you're at, Koza?
And, yeah, Don's also going to kind of chime in. He said, you know, I was talking to a couple of the guys. There's a card game at the front of the ship. They like to play at night.
Y'all gonna go gamble?
Well, what's wrong with turning one gold into two by the chance of the cards and dice?
Absolutely. I like the way you think.
And I like the way you think too, Kravish. And he's going to kind of rise and wipe his brow or wipe his chin and kind of address you all. It was a beautiful breakfast. I'm looking forward to something similar. This place is pretty incredible. And he rests his eyes on Iona. Good creators. Very vivid imagination. And he's going to kind of give you one last respectful nod, Iona. And all of you, as he kind of bids you all adieu, slips his rapier into his belt and kind of reverse William Riker maneuvers out of the bench. And he's going to depart everyone's company and the mansion itself.
Well, I'm actually going to go grab a second bowl, and then I'm going to walk along the deck a little bit.
I'll join you.
Yuno is going to not exclude Baranor, but with the two of you, Maven and Kravish, still in the room, he's going to kind of scratch the back of his head and say, can I, not right now, but a little later, can I kind of borrow you guys?
As long as you bring us back.
Well, it's a matter of security. I want to do something, but I'm not exactly sure what will happen, and I want to make sure I'm not the only one in the room when I do it. And this is kind of starting to sound like I'm inviting you to physical injury, but you guys are pretty capable, and the two of you behind me, I think I could probably do this without anything horrible. And he puts his finger quotes up, happening.
You're not
cool?
Exactly inviting confidence there, dude, but we'll find you.
He's going to go, all right, cool. And he's going to also sort of put his bowl in the communal stone sink, and he's going to turn away and kind of give a little burp under his breath as he leaves the room and disappears.
All right. So I'll finish up mine and take Maven by the hand, and we'll walk on out to the top side.
All right. Baranor, you and Iona, sitting at opposite ends of the table, are the last ones in this room. The oatmeal and berries are very good. Your belly is full. Luna kind of looks like she's pawing at the door a little.
Yeah, I'm coming. Head out onto the deck myself.
Uh-huh. Iona, alone in your magnificent mansion as as Koza and all of the rest had one by one toddled out for the day. Is there anything you would like to do in your mansion before the spell ends and you are left in your actual cabin room on the ship?
I've got some time before this ends, and it's not really something I can do in the cabin, so I may make some poisons just because I still have some components, and I could probably, I can do this in the mansion. I could probably shouldn't do it in the cabin just in case anyone figures out that I'm mixing poisons. That's not a conversation I want to have with members of the Imperial Navy.
All right. How many poisons would you like to attempt to make?
Okay, so I have enough for one basic, one beef extract, 2 nightshade, 2 bloodroot, and 1 ashvine. So that is, I can make up to 7, but that depends on time. So, how much time do I have before?
I would say at least a few hours. Definitely.
Okay, yeah, in that case I probably can just make them all. So do you want me to should I just roll by type or just like a roll?
So if any of your if any of your potions are just regular components, it's going to be 3 per poison. And just let me know the ingredients so that I can assign specific effects, unless they're regular ones for you and you already know how I've ruled on those, in which case just feel free.
Yeah,
okay.
I've got ones like that you ruled specifically, so I know what each of them do. So I've got one of the regular poison components, and then I have enough for when I said 1, 2, or whatever, that is the number of, hits.
Yeah.
The number of vials that you can get out of each.
So, in your little alchemy station that looks exactly how you would prefer it to look, as this whole place is one of your own imagination, you find a bottle, little black bottle about the size of a lipstick container, of a substance that is not yours.
Okay, so I know that I've made this, so I know that this is either something that someone has brought in here.
This is not a bottle that you own. This is a kind of a tapered on both ends and about 4 or 5 inches long.
Okay. Well, I can identify poisons by smell, so I'm going to take
You want to smell it?
I'm going to take a careful smell, but very quickly, just in case it... Yeah.
So as you grab the bottle, and just instinctively go to pull the cork, you turn it, and you notice that this little black glass bottle is actually... Couldn't tell from where you were holding it, but where it was sitting, but as you turn it, it's actually in the shape of a black cat.
I look at it and I say out loud, because I'm alone, so I can get away with saying something out loud. I say, "Oh, you," and then I am going to take the stuff off and just inhale it.
So, you do recognize this poison.
Mm-hmm.
It is called Midnight Tears.
Okay.
And you can find that on Roll20 if you wish. But this poison itself is concentrated, so that damage is going to be... The DC is not going to be 17, it's going to be 13. And the damage is doubled. So instead of 9d6, it's 18d6. This is a very concentrated form of Midnight Tears.
Okay. Interesting. Okay, well, I'm going to keep that because this isn't... I know this isn't something that's from the mansion, so I know this will stay. and then I'm going to set to making the rest of the poisons, and then after that there are a few things, there's something else that I would like to figure out.
Okay.
Because I still have that gift bag from the magic shop ages ago, and I think we established that the things there were magical, but we didn't actually know what they did. So once I do the poisons, I may look into that a little.
Okay. So go ahead and make your rolls for each of your poisons. Let's see how potent they can be. You're pretty good at doing this, so you won't have to worry about a failure.
Okay, so shall I roll by each vial that I'm making, or each type of poison that I'm making?
So if you're using all the components, it's however many those components divided by 3, and a roll for each of those.
Yeah. Okay, so if I think I've got about 7 vials worth of stuff.
Okay. So
just
while you go ahead and make your rolls, go ahead and make those as you kind of deal with all of these alchemical calculations. Kervish, as you ascend the steps into the brilliant morning light of a clear blue sky, you can see a cacophony of sound, of chaos and order. Barefoot sailors stomping across the deck, some swabbing, splashing, oily mops across the floor, and officers ordering underlings, people shouting, people tying ropes, people throwing barrels over people that are ducking in a kind of a dance of work and structure, and also frivolity. People are singing in the distance. You can kind of hear shanties being shouted in terrible tune, and it kind of hurts your ears and your heart a little bit. But these are not thespians or any kind of musicians like you, so you're able to sort of forgive it and also appreciate its charm.
Sure. I think it's that as I'm walking, I think the spirit is going to move me, and I'm going to start playing kind of like a calypso type fashion.
Yeah. The waves move the ship in a strange rhythm in line with the mood. You're able to kind of, on the downturn, as the front of the ship kind of dips below a wave crest, it forces your head down, and that's where you land a beat, start a new bar, and you start kind of choreographing a bit of a dance. You click your heels, you hop in place, you spin around. And the sailors, some of them kind of look on you with awe, especially the younger humanoid ones. The older gruff ones just kind of shake their head. Some of them curse and shout at you as you're in their way. But you pay them no mind. You let the ocean dictate your mood. Oki, you, Luna, and Fenrir are finding yourselves on the, we'll say, the starboard side, which would be the left side, towards the bow.
That would be the right side.
Yes, excuse me. I can't believe I just made that mistake.
It's okay. Port and left have the same amount of letters.
Yes, they do. I knew that.
I thought you were in the Navy, man.
I was.
No.
I'm looking at a picture of a ship at the moment, too. The right side is what I'm...
It's the starboard if you're looking at it from the front.
And you are currently in a rather busy part of the ship. It looks like they're extending a pair of sails to catch perhaps more wind. And you can kind of hear out of the corner, of your perception that perhaps you're not making time like they thought they would be. and the winds have slowed and things like that. So they're trying to do what they can to sort of catch some speed.
I will kind of inquire if there's anything I can do to help.
Yeah, make a persuasion check.
No, that's something I'm super good at. Persuasion. This is
Hey, dickheads, need a hand?
this is provincial expertise. Yeah, not great.
They both kind of stop what they're doing and look at you, and then look at each other, and kind of laugh a little. And one of them grabs a big bundle of rope and literally throws it at you. It's too heavy. It hits you like a ton of bricks. It's huge. It's a big bundle of rope, and the guy that tossed it at you is a giant shark person.
Okay.
So I need you to make a strength saving throw.
Okay. That I'm better at. Not today, apparently. 12.
Parry this, you filthy casual. Yeah. So you catch this bundle of rope, and it keeps going, and it drops you about 3 feet behind where you were, straight on the flat of your back. You are prone and restrained, and they just start kind of giggling at you as they continue doing what they were doing. It looks like they're like stringing rope through a hole in the side of the ship and lashing it in some way, just kind of laughing at you as you sit prone.
Well, I tried.
Yes, you did. And you are still under this pile of rope.
All right, can I get
It's
out
very
from the rope?
it's very heavy. You're going to have to give me an athletics check, and it's a pretty high DC. DC 22.
22 athletics. Nope.
So go ahead and make that at advantage, because as you sit struggling, looking pathetic, and kind of not exactly sure what the hell you did to deserve this, you can feel someone tugging on the ropes, which are now covering you up.
It's not any better.
It's not any better, so I'm going to have who you see through a crack in the ropes. You see Koza, who has shed his wooden armor and is instead wearing kind of a long, earth tone undervest that he has had, but doesn't really show it. He's gonna start to pull it off, so I'll have his Fearbulk strength. Yeah, that's a natural 19. So Koza's going to kind of grab this bundle pretty much in one hand and just pull it off, and you're kind of tangled in it. So you get straightened up too, and he sort of like helps you free yourself, and you kind of shove it off and wave your hands and are done with this little moment. And he's going to be like, "What the hell happened to you? You all right, man?"
Thank you, Koza. I tried to help, and I'm just not cut out for sailor work, I guess.
Koza kind of looks at you, and he's wearing that tricorn hat that he bought at the nautical shop before you left, and he just kind of says, "Well, if you look around, most of these guys, they're big and burly like me." And he kind of looks up at the tip of his hat and he says, "But I'm not really built for the sea." And he's going to take that tricorn hat off. And it looks small and a little ridiculous because it's made for a smaller head. And he's going to kind of turn it, and he's going to place it a little crooked on your head. But looks like it fits you just fine. And he's going to grab the end of the rope that they threw at you. He's going to hand it to you. And he's going to take the other end, and he's going to toss it towards the other guy. He's going to hit the guy in the back of the head. And he's going to kind of look back and say, "Hey!" And he's going to go, and he's going to sort of stand straight up. And you've never seen Koza. Koza always hunches because he's used to dealing with people that are much shorter than him. Koza stands straight up and he feels like he's nearly 10 feet tall. And this half-bear man is dwarfed by him. And he just kind of stands next to you and says, "My friend wants to help. You do well to allow him. He's a ranger of the Jasperwood, a member of the world-famous Crown Collectors, and he's got hell of an aim." As you both look at a guy next to him who is currently spearfishing. And they say, "Oh, well, okay. Glad to have you." And he kind of takes the big bundle of rope and takes that from you and says, "Here, let's see what you got." And he hands you a harpoon. It's about 6 feet long, rather thin. It's all steel. It's got a barbed end. And with how slow the ship is moving at this moment, I would say your natural passive survival score is enough that you can see that they are throwing spears at visible fish in the water.
Okay. Thank you, Koza. Kind of like
No problem.
Well, what kind of roll do I need to make for a throw?
Well, I'm going to count a harpoon as a thrown weapon, which it depends. Are you proficient in thrown weapons?
That is a very good question. Let me check that out. I am proficient in simple weapons. I don't know if that means thrown weapons, though.
So it's a little fuzzy because a harpoon is considered a spear.
Right.
So a harpoon itself is not in the player's handbook.
Sure.
So it depends on if a spear is a simple weapon or if it is also. I think it's both. I think it's a thrown and a simple. And it says melee, simple properties, versatile, and thrown. Which I believe you're proficient in versatile weapons, are you not?
Yeah, I mean, I'm proficient in martial weapons and simple weapons, so I'd assume that I'm proficient with a spear, but I don't know if that's a strength throw or a dex throw.
Well, I guess it just depends on what you're based on. It would be your attack bonus applied to a weapon that you're proficient in, so you just add, your proficiency to your roll.
Right, I understand that, but if it's a strength roll versus a dex roll, that's a different modifier.
Yeah, I know. When you use the Copus of Blight, what are you using?
Oh, I'm using dex on that.
Well, there you go. Use dex.
But that's okay. That's a scimitar, though. I didn't know if the spear had a different.
It doesn't matter because you're proficient in that weapon type.
That just means that
we're talking about a proficiency bonus. He's talking about, is it a finesse weapon or not? Would he use it?
No. It's a spear is a simple weapon.
Right.
But its properties are that it's versatile and thrown.
But that the finesse.
Yeah, I guess
finesse is the thing that makes it either a strength or a dex throw.
Okay, let me look at a different table. I don't know why that one's so weird and confusing. I see what you're saying.
If it was a finesse, I could use either or.
Okay, it is a simple melee weapon that has its properties are that it is thrown or versatile. It doesn't say anything about finesse. Finesse would be like a dagger, but it's still a simple weapon.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that it's thrown, you could use your dex for sure.
All right.
I mean, it's not like you're trying to throw it, 400 feet.
If a weapon has the thrown property, you can throw the weapon to make a ranged attack, and you can draw that weapon as part of the attack. If the weapon is a melee weapon, use the same ability modifier for the attack and damage rolls that you would use for a melee attack with that weapon.
Yeah, there you go.
So it'd be a strength throw, not a dex throw.
Okay, so in what instance are you using Dex? Is it only if it's a finesse weapon?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, well, it's not, so...
Yeah, that's what we're trying to say. Okay, so it'd be a +6. Okay. I think I can work with that. All right. I'm going to use a bonus action of steady aim to give myself advantage on the throw.
All right.
So at least then I can get a better result. One's a 13, so 19.
A 19. So you toss this this long, kind of very plain black steel harpoon weapon, and at the very end of it is a a metal loop with a rope attached to it, but kind of a thin rope, not something that you would think to use for fishing. And as you throw it into the water, you can kind of see the rope disappear into the depths, and suddenly you see the back of the spear buck like it stopped. And the sailors that are around you kind of give you a cheer like, "Good job, reel it in, reel it in." And this is about when Kravish walks over to your group and joins this gathering. And Kravish, you see Baranor and Koza and about 3 other people yanking on this rope as they're pulling it mercilessly back onto the deck.
Dude, what you hauling in?
I'm not sure. Does it feel big?
Well, I'm going to need you to make another athletics check, but you can make that at advantage as you are being helped by more than one person. And that's only going to be a DC 15. Oh my god.
So technically that is a 16.
Technically?
Yeah. Reliable talent.
There you go. So it's a big boy, Baranor, and you can feel yourself being pulled in a jerky way back towards the edge of the ship. And your fingers start to burn as the rope slips, as your grip fails. And just before you feel your torso being jerked overboard, you feel one of Koza's hands on your shoulder, holding you in place. And he goes, "I got you, buddy. Come on!" And you all wrench backwards, and you see crest the water a massive aquatic face. A huge grouper-like fish the size of a full-grown pig is being dangled from this giant harpoon stuck in the side of its head. And you hear all the sailors go, "Whoa! It's a greyback!" And true to its name, you see this huge stripe of dark stone-like skin that kind of dots the back of its head along its dorsal fin, and they haul it, "Heave! Heave! Heave!" And all of you pull this huge animal out of the water. A huge stream of blood dripping from its wound topples to the ground. Baranor, I need you to make a dexterity saving throw to make sure that they don't pull it on top of you, as you are literally pulling it towards you.
Okay. Dex saving throw?
Yep.
22.
22, yeah, definitely. You flip out of the way as this thing slides a slimy trail onto the deck. Everyone chants and cheers, fists in the air, as you see several of these sailors impale the fish between the eyes, and its huge thrashing tail, nearly toppling a couple of sailors over, slows and stops abruptly. This creature is now dead. Everyone slaps your back one too many times, knocking the wind out of you a little. But here you sit at the the foot of a dead grayback fish. It kind of looks like a tuna mixed with a grouper, And like I said, it's kind of silver flesh, but it's got this wide stripe of gray stone-like material that snakes down its back.
Baranor's probably never seen either of those two fishes, so he just thinks it's a big fish.
It is a big fish, huge,
Big damn fish.
Yeah, so you see them kind of wrap a rope around its tail and throw it over one of the mast crossbeams, and they start to hoist it up in the air. And as they do, Baranor, it's as tall as you. I mean, this is a huge, huge fish. And, they kind of admire it, and everyone it kind of gathers a small crowd of maybe 10 or 15 crew members around you. And, it's kind of a cool moment. You hear them saying, like, this will feed us for the next 2 weeks. And they kind of begin sort of gutting it and cleaning it. I mean, it's a huge animal. You can't really clean it on the deck. And I'm going to say that not too long after they start sort of processing this meat on the deck of the ship, you have your choice, Baranor. You can have anywhere between 10 to 20 rations of this fish.
I'm not going to be too greedy. I'll just take 10.
Yeah. They're going to need to be processed unless you put them in a bag of holding that kind of stops time or whatever it is. It is just these huge raw steaks, about twice the size of a piece of bread. But they're fresh, they're clean. It smells very good. It's got a kind of a flaky texture, it looks like. So you can either dry them or you can cook them.
Can I look and see what they're doing and kind of mimic what they're doing with them?
So you see a lot of this meat over the next, we'll say, hour of time on the deck of the ship. You see them quarter the fish and slice it up. And a lot of these portions, it really depends on what part of the fish. The parts near the tail, you're going to see them cut them into long strips and lay them on kind of like long wood planks next to the ship's rail. It looks like they're going to kind of lay them out and dry them. But the big, real, meaty sections of it, where the flesh starts to go from white to kind of a pink, they're cutting those up into blocks and wrapping them in wax paper and taking them somewhere else in the ship.
Okay. Since I don't see the ones that are going down into the ship, what they're doing with them, I'll mimic what they're doing for the tail portions.
Okay. It's not hard to find a spot on the deck that's free. You do kind of attempt to lay it out on certain parts of the hull that someone nearby says, not there, for whatever reason.
Sure.
And you do find a spot to lay out. You're going to do all 10 this way?
Yeah, let's do 10 this way.
Okay. So someone nearby is going to kind of look at you and say, just leave them until tomorrow, and should be ready to take away.
Okay.
Just hopefully it doesn't rain.
Great.
It is currently hot right now.
Mm-hmm.
Even at this moment, which we're talking about maybe midday, the temperature is it's up there. And really any extenuous time above deck results in sweating. You get the feeling it's probably somewhere in the neighborhood of maybe 80, maybe 85 Fahrenheit. And it's not unbearable, but it's definitely warmer than you guys experienced at the temple, where it was actually quite cold, sometimes just chilly. Kravish, wherever it is that you are at this moment, after about an hour, you and whoever is near you is approached by Lieutenant Ana Castillo. Her tricorn hat, her large flowing feather. She's resplendent in her uniform, although her shirt is unbuttoned at the top a bit. and she's not wearing her coat. She approaches you intentionally and kind of gives Maven, I'm sure you're with Maven, a little bit of a nod, and we'll say that Koza's not far away. And she's going to stand there long enough for you to get the feeling that she means to have a word with you a little closer than across the deck.
Okay. I'll kind of give a little pat. It looks like that the first mate, Ana Castillo, wants to have a word with me.
Do you want me to go?
Huh?
Do you want me to go with you?
Okay, come on.
Okay.
And so we'll both make our way up towards her.
Okay, Koza is going to not have heard what you two said to each other and completely miss the social cues to follow you, and he's going to stay right where he is.
Okay.
As you approach, she kind of steps up to the quartermaster's wheel at the rear of the ship. This platform is a raised platform accessible by a staircase on either side. It's probably about maybe 8 feet in the air, or at least from where you are. And you see her take over one of the sailors that was manning the wheel, and just kind of holds the pegs on either side of the wheel, doesn't make any grand movements. And you get the feeling, you've seen her here before, she loves this role. She looks very natural behind this wheel. She looks out over the horizon, and she looks like she's looking for something, but nothing in particular. She scans, and she makes eye contact with the two of you.
Mm-hmm. You have the appearance of a practiced hand at the helm.
24 years at the wheel, under the tutelage of several captains. But Captain Edward Book, he is prestigious. If I ever hope to man the wheel permanently, I will have to do my best to impress him for longer than I have. Speaking of the captain, I wanted to formally extend an invitation. He wishes to dine with you this evening in his cabin. You and your friends, whoever wishes to attend. Nothing too formal, but he is curious about you. You aided in the defense of the ship. That garners a certain modicum of respect amongst the crew and the captain. What say you? Do you speak for the rest of your people?
As flattered as I am, I think I need to check with everybody else to make sure that they're able to attend as well.
Of course. Do not be alarmed. While the captain is reclusive during the day, at night he creates quite the presence on the ship.
Yes, we saw.
I told you. He is not like other people.
Oh,
he's not even like his people.
Oh, if I may inquire, how so?
She kind of stops her scanning and gives you a kind of suspicious eye. You saw what happened.
Oh.
You saw how he punished the enemy in the way that he did. It is his way.
Did.
It is their way. And she's going to look around a little bit. The Illithids. Mind Flayers. He's the only one of them I've met in my life. I can honestly say, I don't want to meet another. But the captain is unique, is he not?
He is unique, at least by virtue of being the only one we've met.
Let us hope it is the only one you will meet. Needless to say, speak to your people. If you are amenable to dinner with the captain, make yourself presentable, at the entrance to his lair by the time the moon starts to crest.
Very well, then. Is there anything else that we needed to discuss?
That is all. Unless you would like to try your hand at the wheel. And she kind of takes a half step aside and presents it to either you or Maven.
Oh,
I think I'm so good. No, thank you.
I am so desperate too because of all the pirate stories Kravish read through that book. Oh yes,
Do it.
So yeah, I'll take a tenuous yet excited grasp at the wheels, like 10 and 2.
Yeah. So here's the deal. This wheel is quite large. Lieutenant Castillo, she can see over it, but only just. She's very short. She looks like she's a half elf, and she's very short for a half elf. She's only about 5'3". She's shorter than Maven. So as you grab the wheel, Maven, you watch Kravish step in front of this thing, and it looks like it's made just for someone your height. It's mid chest, and extending your arms, grabbing the pegs. They're very comfortable in your hands, although they're unfamiliar. You've never been at the helm of a ship before. You can feel as you sort of test turning the wheel left or right. This thing is connected to a series of ropes and pulleys that extend down through the depths of the ship towards what is probably the rudder. You can feel the mechanical nature as you go to turn. You feel a bit of resistance, and it requires some strength. So I will need at first an athletics check from Kravish. Maven, you watch as Kravish grabs the helm of this ship. His black floppy hat almost seems to look like a tricorn hat from this angle, as the huge orange plume feather kind of extends just a little longer and bigger and brighter for some reason.
Even
Heart
10.
eyes.
Yeah. So you think you look pretty cool, but you notice that this is not for the unskilled. As you go to pull up and attempt to turn this wheel, it starts to give you the real resistance of fighting against the ocean, and you overextend yourself, and the wheel spins. Yeah, you overextend your reach, and you pull it a little too far, and it starts to turn, and then it doesn't stop turning. It's kind of out. And all of a sudden, the ship starts to lurch to the left as it turns to the right. Everyone on the deck needs to make a dexterity saving throw. That's going to be Kravish, Maven, Iona, where actually you're probably fine because you're still in the mansion. And Baranor, Luna, Fenrir, everybody needs a dex save. I'll roll for Daunt. He's going to get a natural 3 and fall against the rail on his face.
Dex save.
Koza got a pretty good score.
I cannot
And
keep
so did
rolling
Yuno.
sixes.
Oh
Fine.
no.
17.
Okay, that's going to be enough. You just kind of put one leg up on the side of the wall as the whole ship starts to lurch, and Lieutenant Castillo jumps into action, and you see her kind of grab the wheel, and as it's spinning, she digs her foot into the ground, and you hear the wood under her boot creak slightly as she grabs it. It stops the wheel, and she starts to turn it back the other way. I'm going to have her roll at advantage because you're holding it. She got a natural 20. And slowly the wheel begins to spin back the other way, and she says, lightly, gently, well done. All right, I think I've got it, Kravish.
Okay, I'll give kind of like a sheepish little grin. It's like, yeah, okay, the story's never written that.
And every sailor on the deck just kind of looks up at the helm and just sort of shakes their fists like.
I give kind of like a mea culpa kind of look. Yeah, sorry. Okay, well, I've scratched that itch. I'm gonna go now.
Yeah, let's go ask and see what everybody wants to do about the dinner.
Yeah. Guess who's coming to dinner? All right then.
Guess who's coming to dinner?
So at some point,
brains.
yeah,
we'll
we're
meet up
gonna
at
say
lunchtime.
that. Yeah, into the middle of the day. You know, everyone kind of gathers at this point. Iona, the mansion has disappeared. You find yourself sitting on a bench, kind of in an awkward position between a barrel that you wouldn't really sit at, but this is where the mansion kind of burped you out of.
Yeah, okay, I'm going to go up on deck. I've saved the rolls I made for, like, poisons and stuff, so we can do that via off session if you want, and I'm just going to go up on deck and I'll look for the others.
So you do find the others. It looks like they're all kind of eating whatever they have. There's no planned meal. Looks like Koz is just kind of grabbing he's just eating a really big apple. And Yuno is in his room. He has not come out. He is kind of been in his room a lot, but looks like he didn't emerge for lunch. I will say he wouldn't be like, I'm busy. He just happens to be in his room.
All right. So after lunch, we'll talk with the crew here, and then I'll remind Maven. It's like, yeah, Yuno wanted to see us, so after lunch we'll go hit him up.
Yeah. Yep. Let's go see what kind of experimentation he wants us to look in on.
Mm-hmm. And if we need a helmet.
Fire-resistant gloves.
Mm-hmm. Pole arms. All right. So right now at lunch, while we're gathered, I will make known the captain's invitation, and I didn't want to speak for everybody on this without getting everyone's opinion. Personally,
Koz is going to kind of lean into it and say, "Well, that sounds weird and awesome and scary and cool."
Absolutely, that's what I'm saying. But I think it would be really rude to decline his invitation. He is the captain of the vessel, after all.
And Koz is going to kind of be like, yeah, can we talk about that? Like, he's a mind flayer, and he's captain of an Imperial ship. How does that happen? How is he not, like, I don't know, murdered by the Empire? Aren't they mind flayers, like, really bad guys?
All perfectly valid questions that we may never get answers to.
I mean, we could ask him.
You can ask him. I'm not asking him anything.
Yeah. If Yuno were here, he would be like, I concur.
I'm not asking him anything. I'm going to stay as far away from him as possible.
All I know is that the tentacled terror of the Western Seas wants to have dinner with us.
I guess there's no way to not go to this dinner unless we all fucking get food poisoning or something.
Yeah.
Like this.
I mean, those of you who know anything about mind flayers, I mean, it's not untrue that you would assume they would try to poison you at dinner. Not sure about this one, but that does not seem like behavior outside of the realm of possibility.
Yeah.
Poisoning would probably be the least of the horrible things that they have in store for their thralls.
Yeah, I don't want to be a thrall, thank you.
Don't want to be dinner.
Yeah, he does eat people. So there's that.
brains.
That's why if we need to go in a big group.
Yeah, fair. Because at least then we have a fighting chance. Don't like it
Koz
at all.
is going to look a little confused and say, what do you mean they eat people?
Were you not on deck when he slurped that guy's brain out of his skull?
That cat guy?
Yeah. He ate his
Oh, that's what he did? I thought he just, like, I don't know, broke his neck.
probably.
Read the room.
Literally slurped his brains out of his skull. Yeah.
Yeah, Koz's jaw goes slack and he goes, ew.
Yeah, yep. So we get to do that. But there's no way to refuse this. We are staying on his ship. So, just be on guard. I think is the goal for this evening's dinner.
All right, well, about this time, Yuno emerges from his room. He sneaks in and grabs looks like he grabs a fresh pear from a bowl between all of you. And he just kind of looks at everybody, and everyone's kind of got a sort of semi-horrified look, and he's like, what's everyone talking about?
Just the events of yesterday evening.
And he just kind of rolls his eyes, like half rolls his eyes, like he's thinking of something. He goes, yeah, which part? The pirates out of nowhere or the mind flayer just kind of showing himself and exposing himself to a bunch of strangers?
Yeah, the latter.
Yeah, that was pretty weird.
The latter that has apparently invited us to dinner.
And he kind of stops mid-chew of his pear and kind of slowly pulls the pear away from his face, and he goes, he did what now?
Yeah. The captain invited us all to dinner as a small way to say thank you for our effort in helping defend the ship last night.
Uh-huh. Well, I got to tell you, the noble in me looks for any opportunity to mix with imperial hierarchy, of which the captain of a ship like this certainly would be. But the mortal in me is definitely super comfortable with being in the same vicinity of a mind flayer.
Yeah, I got you.
Well, he's definitely formidable.
If he could not control the hunger for brain matter, which I assume he has, that he didn't just take information from it, he ate the whole thing, he would not be able to fulfill his role as captain.
Well, it's obvious he doesn't, just eat his own crew. I mean, that's not the vibe that I get from the sailors above deck, that they're living in constant fear. Although any mention of the captain and most of them kind of clam up a little, but seems more out of respectful fear as opposed to terror and fear. I mean, we were arranged to be on this vessel from the Empire itself. Prince Hector is the one who initiated it. I can't imagine he would saddle us up with a murderer.
Yeah, I'm kind of inclined to agree with you on that.
And Koza's going to logically deduce, yeah, and he's going to kind of hold his hand up a little. He goes, but we all watched him murder someone. Just saying.
Oh, as if no one in this group has ever done that.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever eaten anybody.
Yes, same. Never eaten a brain. Just saying.
Never eaten.
They were pirates.
I have murdered somebody.
Yeah. I get it.
So Yuno's going to kind of say, all right, well, I'm in.
Yeah. You still need us? Yuno?
He's like, oh, yeah. You got a minute?
For you? 3?
Maybe 5.
Well, he's going to just sort of. He's not really going to bid you, the rest of you, adieu. I mean, he's just going to kind of turn and say, "Follow me."
Who all does he need?
At present, he asked for Kravish and Maven to accompany him to his cabin.
Okay.
He's going to kind of notice your inquiry and say, do you want to come, Baranor? More the merrier.
Sure, if you need me.
All right. I mean, just bring one of your fancy knives. I'm sure you have 1 or 2 lying around.
I produced 3.
Yeah. I'll look to the others and I'll just kind of secretly mouth out, pray.
We'll be fine. We'll be fine.
So,
Stand outside with a fire extinguisher.
Yeah.
I have to create water.
Yuno is going to direct you to his cabin. It is larger than yours, which of course it would be. It doesn't appear that the largeness of the room is fully taken up by his goods, but he has definitely spread himself out. There's books in the corner, rolls of parchment. Looks like he's maybe been transcribing some spells where he's got his magic ink out. He's got some incense, and definitely is sort of at home in here. There's little bottles and potion bottles and stuff like that. And there is an object on a desk that is covered by a thin leather sheet. He says, "You guys remember that slime monster we fought a couple days ago?"
How could we forget?
Yeah, sorry about
Well, oh no, that's okay. In fact, that's why I brought you here. When we killed it, and we're kind of looting the lair for treasure and such, I inspected the husk. That, you know how it kind of dried out and looked like beef jerky towards the end?
Yeah.
Yes, and now I can no longer look at beef jerky the same again. Thanks.
Oh no!
Also not liking where you're going with this.
Well, I sort of dug into the core of it. I just wanted to make sure, honestly, that it was dead. I was fully ready to just burning hands the thing to death. But at the very center of it, I found something. And he pulls, and he just kind of looks back at you and goes, "Now just chill out, okay? Right now, it completely inert." And he pulls the sheet away, and you see this. It is
What the fuck is it?
It is an egg-shaped nodule of, interlacing black lattice-like veins that form a shell, and deep within it is a slowly pulsing red dim light. Very slowly pulsing.
Is that an egg?
Well, I mean, and he's going to I'm going to have him make a intelligence check, because that's a very good question. He gets pretty good. With a 23 intelligence check, Yuno's still going to be like, I don't know. I mean, can a gelatin creature produce an egg? I don't think that's how they reproduce.
Do I know how? I would imagine I have no idea how they reproduce.
Yeah.
I mean,
not
of
something
all the
that
gels you guys
in
have,
casual conversation in bars.
yeah, for all the gelatin monsters you guys have fought, you've never seen one give birth to an egg.
Okay. You know about egg laying, don't you, babe?
Yeah.
Do you know
Thanks,
jelly monsters lay eggs too?
I've never asked one.
Oh, dang. Okay. So are we here to hatch it? How would we hatch a jelly monster egg?
Well, I get the sense that whatever's in there isn't Volatile. I done some tests on it, and the outer shell isn't harmful. It's actually quite solid, like keratin or your fingernail. It's kind of what it feels like. And whatever is inside, and he raises a hand over it, over the egg, and says, "It responds." And you see that pulsing red light start to kind of like a plasma ball, kind of extend a very vaguely bright tendril of light from the inside that sort of gently caresses the shell from the inside towards Yuno's hand. And it doesn't seem violent. It doesn't react with aggression. It's just kind of in there. And it doesn't look terribly powerful, but if something spills out of it and starts to reach for us, I feel like we could probably kill it really fast.
Okay.
And especially since you watch Yuno ready a fresh firebolt in his hand that just dances around his fingers.
Quick question, though. I know this kind of kills the spontaneity, but if we're about to do weird kind of experiments as a passenger on a boat, shouldn't we, get permission from somebody? Because if this goes sideways...
you mean like a pirate ship showing up while we're just peacefully on passengers on their ship?
Yeah. Let's just
I don't know. I think that the fact that we put up with it and actually defended the ship might afford us a couple of experiments in the privacy of our own quarters.
I mean, technically, we're allowed to be here. I would imagine.
Everyone remembers Nick's experience from earlier. Probably not.
I will beat them up. It's fine.
Okay.
And just kind of turns with an "I was gonna do it anyway, I just need backup" kind of a attitude.
Okay,
Of
well,
course.
yeah, I'm ready.
All right. Yuno is going to pull from his belt a very small and disappointing compared to all of Baranor's daggers knife from his belt. And he's going to kind of look at it, and he's going to look at Baranor, and he's going to look at his knife, and he's going to go, "Hey, Buddy B, you mind?" And he's going to slip his knife back in his little sheath.
You want me to poke at it?
I'm gonna get really close to it because I have to be, if something happens, I need to be next to it.
Okay?
Alright, I'll poke the damn thing.
All right, what are you going to poke it with?
I haven't used my Mastercraft dagger in a while.
All right. Go ahead and make an attack against the egg.
At least I'm not the only one that rolls fives.
Yeah, but with a plus 11.
Yeah,
With your master cracked dagger.
Does it cracked? Oh, it does.
It does.
Whoopsie doodle.
That's okay. Your master cracked dagger is very powerful.
There we go. Changed.
And your master cracked dagger makes a small crack in the egg. So go ahead and roll damage. Whoa. As you go to stab this egg forcefully, thankfully its outer shell or flesh is not like that of a chicken egg. It's rather tough. And you drive your mastercrafted dagger into the top of this egg by about maybe 2 inches. You're able to get it through, and you watch as a large crack across its vertices splits the egg. Maven, you're very close. Go ahead and make a perception check.
Doke.
I will have Yuno make an Arcana check at the same time. He's very interested in this.
23.
The shell instantly splits, and the first thing that you experience is a splash of liquid. It's kind of a pinkish, very, very gooey, translucent liquid splashes like the white of an egg. And a slight glow emanates from the egg's interior. And Maven, you kind of, reflexively flinch a little and then open one eye while wincing and then open the other one. And from behind the shell, you see that light flicker a bit as something passes in front of it. You see what could be described as the stubby digits of a hand emerge from behind the shell, grasp the edge, and as if putting weight on it, tip the entire egg forward. And the small, round, slimy red torso of a vaguely humanoid creature spills out onto the desk, half still in the shell. And Yuno kind of leans down and says, well, it's not growing spikes and leaping at us. And this creature looks up at Yuno and opens two tiny little orange eyes.
Oh,
and it looks up at all of you, and a little slit in its face, horizontal slit forms, and you hear Kravish's voice, yet.
Okay.
And then you hear Maven's voice come out of it. Okay. And Yuno kind of looks at it and says, it's intelligent. And you hear again, it's intelligent, come from this creature. And he says, oh my god, it's very intelligent. It knows how to mimic sounds. And this kind of confuses the little creature. He starts to mimic, and then it kind of gets tumbled into a mishmash. And you see, put the fire in his firebolt away, wafted away. And he puts his hand close, and the hairs on the back of your neck stand up. And this creature just kind of looks up, and pseudopods from its forehead start to kind of reach out, but very small, size of a finger. And they begin to coalesce, and parts of its arms kind of suck in. It looks like it's distributing its matter, and it forms its torso in a different position. Almost like it didn't want to move, it just wanted to assume a different pose. And its head turns into an arm, and its head forms a little further away and basically makes it look like it's reaching up to Yuno. And he goes, should I touch it? And he touches it. And that red liquid kind of like, glue stick style kind of adheres to his finger. And you see this creature's eyes grow a little brighter. And Yuno just kind of says, it's reading me. And you're not exactly sure what that means. And that is the point where we will all take a little break.
So we can all cry.
All right. It is 4:07. We'll call that 4:10 Eastern Standard, and we'll meet back here at 4:25. Let's take a little break and get on with our day at sea after helping Yuno hatch a new creature that he now has.
At least I'm not the only one.
All right.
All right.
Okay.
See you soon.
We'll see you in a bit. Bye-bye. All right. We got everybody? Well, the door shuts behind Kravish and Maven as you made your way out, or were led to believe to be led out, as Yuno seems very interested in this amorphous, semi-humanoid, infantile monster that you four actually, as Baranor, hatched this egg of some kind. And he kind of said, thanks for your help. Looks like I got this, and bid you out.
As we're getting shooed out. Oh, okay. You sure? Oh, okay.
It appears we have been dismissed.
Yeah, he's like, yep, nope, thanks. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for your help. I just need to study it.
Do nerd stuff. Got it. Okay.
Don't put it down
Just
your
a good-
pants.
The fact that that needs to be said is telling.
Mm-hmm.
We just
Okay.
keep collecting creatures, don't we?
We do. Okay, well, that won't bite us in the ass. No, absolutely not.
Do you think he's gonna love that thing like a child?
Not as much as Yuno can love.
He is pretty cold most of the time.
Yeah.
Okay, so
All right. Well,
we have to get ready for dinner, I guess.
yeah. So, what time of day is it currently?
It is like late midday, like the 2 o'clock, maybe 3 o'clock.
Do we know when dinner is normally served here?
Well, she said to meet them at the front door of the captain's quarters at Mooncrest.
Okay. I missed that apparently. Okay, so we got a few hours, which is good because,
Well, we got a lot to take in here in such a short time.
yeah. Makes me uncomfortable.
Uh-huh. How you holding up?
Really average, I would say.
Okay, cool. Well, what was up with as we kind of break off from Baranor? I'll start talking through the earring with you. It's like, okay, well, why was I told to like shush immediately this morning? What happened?
Okay, so here's the thing. So apparently, Dawn was like putting the moves on Iona, and she likes him, but she doesn't want to be with him like that. And so they both separately told me the same thing. So I got to pretend like I don't know from both sides. Deception is not my strong suit, but I'm trying my best. Okay.
That's gotta hurt.
This is why I'm telling you. I have to tell somebody. I'm not a therapist.
Man, roll deception, Maven. I think you're a fine therapist.
I am a pretty good therapist. Deception, you say, with my fabulous +1. Yep, just
I would
one.
say therapy is new for you, but
13. It's not bad.
13's not enough. I'll say this, Kravish, you glean that Maven in a unique and new experience feels helpful in a psychological way.
And not
Like,
just with
she just doesn't know how to express it to you, but you see right through it.
No, I see. I think you're doing. It looks like you're doing pretty well. I mean, I know this is something you're not used to, but we all need these little unique experiences to stretch and to grow.
Growth. How are you doing?
Me, I'm doing okay. Kind of a little wig the frick out over the events over the past 24, 36 hours, but gotta look at it kind of pragmatically, I guess.
Yeah.
We have a greater calling that we're tending to.
Yeah, I don't know. What do you think the big eye is? Do you have any? I have no idea.
I'm wondering if this is just, some sort of like first stage primal force.
Great. We'll figure it out. We'll make do.
We're gonna be fine.
We're gonna be fine.
We've got each other. We've got our crew. We can be all right.
We got this. We
Yep.
got this. Do we believe it?
Make an insight against your persuasion.
Against myself.
Yeah,
The
it's
path is
heavy.
18.
It's heavy shit.
Yeah.
None of you feel certain right now about a lot of things.
Mm-mm.
Have you heard from your mom since we left the monastery?
No, I haven't gotten any messages from Clive or anybody. Oh, no, I haven't. I may send a sending message just to check in with her.
Do you want to do that?
I think at some point when we get a quiet moment before dinner, just let her know what's going on.
Okay. I'm gonna say at some point you guys see Yuno, and he has what looks like a kind of a red tinted, small bat-like creature crawling on his shoulder. Right now, it is very gelatinous looking, and Yuno is kind of looking at it and looking around and whispering to it, and like you see him move his hand, and he's passing all of you on his way out to the upper deck. And it looks like as he sort of walks out of you, he kind of gives everybody a what's up. And as he kind of walks away, you see that he's whispering to it, and the little bat creature is starting to, its jelly exterior is starting to like briefly flicker into like a hard scale material, and they disappear. They disappear into the darkness near where you go upstairs.
Okay, that wasn't weird at all.
Nothing gives me the heebie-jeebies.
Like, I looked at the other folks and how are they feeling about it? Because I'm sure we let them in on, let the rest of the crown collectors know on what just went down.
Yeah.
So yeah, kind of give one of those like fourth wall break kind of looks towards the others, like, okay.
I will say, Koza, go ahead and give me a nature check. As you are sort of joining everyone in the common hallway after, outside of the barracks, and see Yuno walk by with what looks like a small, red, lizard-like, bat-like quadruped on his shoulder.
Well, Koza's back.
Jeez,
The druid
I just
failed
can't
nature.
roll good on these dice, man.
You need to
No, you need to put your computer in jail.
I think I need to put it down.
you need to stage your computer.
I need to take it
Listen.
out back and
Pull your
Physical
computer
dice,
up and shake it. Shake your computer real good,
Roll worth shite.
and then roll again. I'll give you, I'll give you, I'll give you inspiration. You can re-roll that if you want, but you got to shake your computer and get the cobwebs and all that out of there.
Just get some incense and just
do I still
cleanse
get it if I decide to pocket it?
No, you've never heard of this. You've never seen a creature like this. It looks like a little demon to you. You're assuming he's a wizard. Wizards have imps.
Yeah, that's one of Yuno's things.
Yeah, I'll say that this doesn't strike you as weird like everybody else. So the day, like I said, the day is yours for a few hours until late evening when the moon will be up. Is there anything anybody wants to do until that time? Like I said, it's like 4 or 5 hours till then.
Yeah, I got a couple of things.
Okay, Kravish. Is this immediately after you guys break and depart, or are you waiting a little later?
Well, after we talk for a little bit about the events going on with Yuno, yeah, I'll just kind of excuse myself for a few minutes privately. I'm going to send a message to my mom.
Okay.
Just let her know all goes well. En route to island. Very weird experience, but we're all okay. Any news?
Okay, the response is it doesn't come back immediately, but it doesn't make you wait terribly long to where you get worried. You've sent plenty of messages to your mother. You often catch her in the middle of doing something, and she has to like stop and listen and then think of what she wants to say to you. It's kind of how it is. So those of you, if anyone is near Kirbysh, or unless you kind of cordon off to yourself, it takes a minute, but you receive a response. Don't like the sound of weird experience. Glad it's keeping you heading above the clouds where it belongs. No news about father and brother, but a Gubo did find something. We'll send more words, and then it cuts off.
Right. Okay. All right, and then after that, I am going to pray to the Platinum Dragon for courage, understanding, and guidance.
Courage, understanding, and guidance. All right. Kirbysh, I need from you a very good religion check.
Oh, good. All right. I'm going to guidance myself first.
Of course.
It's +2 for a 17.
17? I mean, you're I'm guessing you're not in the Magnificent Mansion, so you're in your cabin or maybe by yourself somewhere quiet, so that you can at least hear your mother over the sound of the ocean. And you just close your eyes, and briefly, you go to where you've gone before. A silvery white sand beach, and a immense mountain range at the edge of a horizon an infinite distance away. And the silver waves slowly lap against your fingertips. And, you're on your hands and knees. You seem to always show up here. God forbid you show up here on your feet. Ever. You look up, and flying through the air are a number of... They're moving fast. It's hard to tell how many there are. 5, 6, 7. Not exactly sure. Yellow canaries. And you hear these staggering, elderly humanoid footsteps behind you. And you kind of turn, and you don't see anyone, and you don't see the footsteps.
Okay.
You feel your soul warm. You feel something kind of fill within you. And you get the feeling that they were there. They're just not now. It doesn't mean that they weren't. And the canaries are mysteriously absent now as well. And you kind of open your eyes and blink a little and feel much better about yourself and your surroundings and your role within him.
Okay. And then at that, once Iona decides to put up the mansion again for the afternoon, I guess we can all go. I can go in with the others, and we can start getting gussied up.
Gussied up. Is that how the spell works? Can you cast it immediately that day, or do you have to wait? Let me go look.
Yeah, It is once a day, so I haven't cast it yet today, but you can do it once a day and it lasts for 24 hours. So I haven't cast it today, so I can.
Okay, so yeah, right now it's I don't know, it's about the same time that it went out. You could just recast it, I guess. Sure.
Yeah, so I'm going to say it looks pretty much the same as before, except for a few differences, which is that the thorns are gone from the training room, and instead there's just sort of like angular bits of stone on the floor to simulate rough terrain instead of the thorns. The family portrait is slightly smaller and is shoved, if anything, even more further away into the corner. And there is just slightly less of the greenish grey stone than there was before.
Okie dokie. As usual, the mansion is humble but resplendent with space and room and supplies. At any point, if you felt like you tracked in, splashes of the sea on your feet into the place, that's all been dried long, and Daunt just kind of crosses the main kind of gathering room where you guys have a couple of chairs and a hearth, perhaps. And he kind of stops short right next to you, Iona, and says, "Pardon me, might I have a word, milady?"
Yes, though I'm not sure if I actually technically count as a lady. And she's saying that in like the form of noble lady.
And he sheepishly takes another half step and says, "And I'm not a warlock," and leads you around a corner where there's kind of some there's like hung rope, and it's kind of a cargo area in the middle of the ship.
Okay, I go with him, and I'm ready to hear whatever he has to say.
And he's gonna lead you. He's gonna keep his back to you. He's not gonna walk behind you or anything. You see that he's not wearing his weapon, and neither is he wearing. He's got like a really nice, fancy, curved dagger on his hip. Usually, he's never made a big deal about it, but he's not wearing that, and you're noticing that as well. And he's just kind of he is wearing all of his jewelry. He's got his 4 or 5 rings that he wears. And it looks like he still looks like he usually does. Dark skin, kind of tight dreads pulled in a ponytail, goatee, but he's kind of got a little bit of a glimmer to him. And you know that he's a changeling, and that this is kind of a bit of makeup that he's putting on. And he's going to round a corner. It's not out of view. You see crew members walking along the corridors of this sort of storage space within the ship. They're not near you, and there's enough creaking and stuff that you guys can talk within privacy. But you guys are not by any means alone. And he turns around and he kind of looks and sees that there are other people, and he looks at you and he says, "I got your note."
I thought you must have seen it by now.
Yes, and listen, I don't want to make it awkward for you. I understand your feelings, and you can rest assured that I will leave it at that. You have your reasons. Your journey is your own. And it is just mine to share it with you in any way you see fit. And he kind of extends his hand to you. Open palm up. Strictly speaking, Iona, I'll take you any way I can.
And I clasped hands with him. And can I just clarify, Joe? Did I hear you is Daunt say that he wasn't a warlock? Because that's interesting.
Well, yeah, he was kind of saying, you're not a lady and I'm not a warlock, kind of a thing, which he absolutely is.
Okay. Because if that
He was
if
being
he'd been
cheeky.
doing that as face value, then Iona would have been interested. But since he's joking, she's not going to go into that. But she's going to clasp hands with him and say, completely, very honestly, "You do have my friendship."
And he's going to grasp your hand. It's warm like it ever is. And he just kind of bows his head with his eyes closed for a moment and says, "That's wonderful to hear." And he's going to let go, and he's going to look over his shoulder, and he's going to sort of like sidestep out of the corridor, and he's like, "Do you hear that?" And you can also hear kind of a song on the air. It's not like you haven't heard music on board. You've heard Kravish plucking his mandolin. You've heard the crew raspy-voiced sea shanties, but this is different. It's very feminine and very far away. With the mansion being up, I don't think any of you strictly said you're there, unless you're there to change. Nobody else would be hearing this except for Daunt and Iona, unless you are out of the mansion.
Okay. Do I have any idea what it might be? Because it's not really crew singing. It's too far away for that.
Yeah,
I, as a
way
player,
out.
know about things like sirens, but I don't know if Iona would know about what.
I would
could
need a
make-
very, very good history check roll. Being that you never lived near the ocean, that idea it's unlikely that you would know about it. So let's
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to guidance myself and try to figure out what that song is.
let's make that a DC 20. Oh, what'd you get? Oh,
Yeah, it's not happening.
you've never heard music like this before. Although you do know what it sounds like amongst the swamps to hear some of the nymphs or some of the fey creatures that live within the swamps of Deadmarsh, and that feminine singing resounds similar. You guys also notice that the seas have calmed. It looks like the ship has slowed even further than it has before. You were hoping to kind of be ready to dock at the Morrow Islands like tomorrow night or tomorrow morning. So you're getting the feeling everyone's feeling like it might be a few hours after that. Ocean's not cooperating, and yeah, it's just kind of calm, and there's a fog that sort of surrounds the distance ahead of you, and you hear this singing. It's so far that it's incoherent. It doesn't even sound like a tune that holds, but it is singing.
Do you think that's Faye? I say that to Daunt.
You said what? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
So I'm going to ask Daunt if he thinks the thing might be Faye or something similar.
He's going to kind of furrow his brow. I'll have him make a history check. Not great. He got a 16. He's going to kind of scratch his chin, and he's going to stare in the distance like you can tell he's trying to come up with something to tell you. And he's just going to kind of like do that holding your breath, and then I'm sorry, I've never heard that myself, but we are out to sea. Unless it's another ship, I'm not exactly sure. It could be anything but a siren. And he's just going to kind of listen to it, and he's going to kind of look at you and say, should we tell the others? Or
Yes, and Yes, and use the earplug if the song is dangerous.
And he pulls them out of his pocket. And he's like, good thinking. And he squeaks them into his ear canal. They're not quite as comfortable as the foam ones that we can get, but they do.
And I've sort of fallen with him to go get the others, tell them about the earplugs and the sirens, and then also, when we should probably see if we can mention this to members of the crew, but I'm prioritizing telling the others just because, they're my friends, so I'm going to them first.
Okay. All of you are kind of minding your own business, putting on clothing, getting ready for the evening, and Daunt is following Iona, who is kind of walking at a brisk pace into the central room.
We may have a problem. There is mysterious singing. Daunt says it is likely sirens. Luckily we have the earplugs, but we should probably look to deal with it.
Okay.
It's always something here.
Always something.
Okay. So for right now, Yuno is going to kind of show up, and his mantle looks a little different. He is wearing his Dracula robes. He's got a high pointed collar like always, but now he has a pair of crystal shoulder pauldrons that are very jagged and sharp, and they are unsurprisingly colored red. And he's just going to kind of look at all of you and say, I hear something about sirens. What are we talking about?
Distant singing on the way. Dawn says this is likely sirens, and I think we shouldn't discount the possibility.
Okay, so Yuno is going to offer to cast silence. He's going to run it by you guys and say, I can cast a dome of silence at the foot of the stairs up there so we can look around, but we won't actually hear anything. We can then, I don't know, step out of it and discuss what to do.
Baranor's going to psychically link all of us, minus Daunt.
Actually, you could link Daunt, and since Maven and I have a connection, one of us can just piggyback to the other.
Okay, I will leave out Maven then.
That's fine.
Harsh.
Okay.
And it will last for 7 hours.
Nice.
Okay.
Okay. You are all linked.
Well, most of us.
Daunt is going to comment in your mind, Baranor. It's nice to finally be introduced to the party. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I'm sorry. I can only do this with 5 people.
It's all right, mate. Just glad to have earned a spot.
Mm-hmm.
But,
hello, everyone, he says,
Yuno?
not knowing that no one else can hear him.
Daunt, you can only talk to me, and I relay it to
Hold on, we got 3 people talking at once. Hold on. What'd you say, Baranor?
I said, Daunt, you can only talk to me, and I can relay it to the others.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Then I just said, what's with the freaky wardrobe change?
And he just kind of honestly looks down at them and looks at you and he says, This thing is crazy intuitive. I'm pretty sure this is just a cosmetic effect. I don't think I have armor now, but what do you think? Looks pretty cool, right?
Maven's having the worst game of telephone ever.
I'm just hanging out, waiting to be told what's going on. That's fine.
Yeah, I'll say Iona she's shifted her glamour clothing to be like the version of her that looks quite neat and quite formal. this is the version of Iona that not only says, why yes, I will have your daughter home by 11 p.m., but she actually does genuinely have your daughter home by 11 p.m.
Yeah. Yeah, let's, good idea. Let's talk about what we're wearing here in the magnificent mansion. I'll just paint a quick picture. Don is in an outfit that he brings with him, a glamour outfit just like Iona does, and he is currently wearing a very dashing, swashbuckling pirate, but kind of nice, like a colonial uniform, a bit like the crew, but earth tones, browns and silvers and blacks, and he's wearing a pair of long hoop gold earrings, and he's got a little extra eyeliner and a little bit of purple on his lips. And he's got these really nice white fingerless gloves, but he has this really nice gold lined, red and gold lined vest that trails all the way down to his ankles, and everything is very nice and everything looks very new. Who's next? God, it's been so long since we had a party getting dress up session. Why don't we do it? Baranor, what is Baranor wearing?
Baranor is wearing the same outfit he wore in Dane that has been literally sitting in probably the bag of holding since then. So it's a bit ruffled. It doesn't quite like.
There are servants in the mansion to clean that for you.
Yes, there are. Yeah.
But this is me.
Okay.
Baranor thinks that he looks. He's uncomfortable and thinks that this is what formal people wear, even though he looks like a mess compared to other.
And a tricorn hat.
And the tricorn hat to make it just absolutely ridiculous.
Yes. Yeah. Kravish, I can only imagine. Yeah, hell yeah. Yeah, why don't you have glamour armor? You should buy it, you're rich.
I just bought the super fancy mithril armor gleaming.
That's true.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying. Feels like you would definitely rock some glamour armor when you... What, do you need 10 minutes to change into your armor? That's not that big a deal. Actually, it's mithril, so it's probably half of that.
Yeah.
Not only is it
I can wear it
mithril enchanted to be more shiny.
It does give off...
I can control the luminance.
Exactly.
How shiny? Very, very? Or just kind of?
I can go from kind
You
of
can get up to super
wow.
shiny.
I love it. I love it so much.
So yeah, there you go.
Cool. Iona, what's did you already say you were wearing some kind of a ball dress or something?
No, this is you've seen Iona, and sort of she goes for her, her greens, her blacks, and her greys, whereas this is just a version of her daily wear that is just more formal. The cut is a bit sharper. The lines are a bit more defined. It's sort of a tunic and trousers combination, but it's sort of, it's pretty much, it's very much in the cut that makes it more formal, more suitable for a dinner. She is still wearing her, her cloak, which she always wears, just because that's not that's not part of the glamour, but it's a nice enough cloak that it works. So it is just very much a sort of brushed up, more defined lines, almost more military cut, but it's not quite fully military cut. Style of tunic and trousers that she'd normally go for.
Nice. Yeah. Daunt gives you a look up and down, and he rests on your. It looks like he kind of likes the way your cloak and coat sort of fall over your shoulders, and just gives you a pretty big thumbs up and a nod, kind of looking good kind of expression. And he's going to turn and brush something that he sees on Baranor's shoulder. It looks like some cobwebs or something, and give you a little bit of help, mate.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, and how about Koza and Maven? You guys are both approaching the central area too. What are we rocking?
Who's this first?
Koza's muted. You can go first.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I have a picture.
Oh, of course you do.
It's yeah.
Yay!
You've seen this picture. That's what I'm wearing.
Cool. Yeah, she's got a long golden skirt that kind of wraps around her kind of monk trousers that she wears. She's got a long golden cloak. It's all brand new, right? You got this from monastery supplies? Yeah.
I got it. I got it in the monastery.
Yeah, it's all brand new, clean, but simple, very monk-like, and it looks like she's got her hair straight down. She bought a straightener.
Her hair's not straight, but it is what it is. It looks good though. So
it looks very good. And Koza, what's Koza wearing to dinner with the Capitan?
I would say that Koza has this like maroon gambeson that's got like these fancy little gold buttons. And he that's kind of the most nobly looking thing he owns as far as clothing. So
sure,
I think that's
looks
what
great.
he decides to wear.
Yeah, I think you wore it when you guys held court.
I did wear it at some other point. I just can't find it.
Yeah, you wore it when you guys held court at Stonehelm Keep, and you met with Captain Asshole from Highstell. Yeah, no worries. So after some preening and showing each other off, you are all, I'll say this, you are all very impressed with each other's attire. Everybody gets inspiration.
Yay.
Everybody give yourself a free choice of a reroll.
I roll one more 6 on a.
It does not expire, but it does not stack. Yeah, everyone's looking real good. Real good. I just need an insight check from everybody to decide if any of you feel like you are individually overdressed as the the wooden ship motif around you is giving you pause.
Hey, that's not bad.
Yeah, Baranor thinks he looks great.
Yep, totally fine.
Frickin' fine.
Okay.
19.
Yeah. Everybody feels pretty good about what you're wearing. And after some, snacking on perhaps some fruit or, pita bread little chunks within the common room of the mansion, one by one you emerge out into the corridor. It is chillier and darker. It is definitely evening. Yeah, there you go. Koza is so handsome. I'll just say this: there is plenty of crew. We haven't even hit the night crew yet. This is still day crew, kind of mopping up the place as you all kind of emerge and walk towards around where you're going to enter into the staircase that leads down to a set of double doors. You've all seen it. It's the back of the ship, underneath, far underneath the quartermaster's kind of helm wheel. And it seems like everybody was able to withstand the siren's call. A couple people are chatting about it throughout the corridors. You guys were able to withstand it no problem. And Daunt just kind of rounds the group, as does Yuno, and you all kind of look at each other like, okay, anything else before we go in there? Because you guys look above you, and you see the blue crescent moon almost directly overhead.
I am going to go ahead. It is a concentration spell, but I am going to go ahead and cast protection from evil and good.
Okay.
On Maven.
Okay.
All right. Righto.
All right.
And since we know what he is, they are, I believe a Mind Flayer is an aberration, correct?
That is correct.
So,
Yeah, I thought so. All right, important stuff.
love that.
So you're pretty protected mentally from him. You can't be charmed, although none of you have felt like you were going to be charmed just yet.
This is out of an overabundance of caution.
All right.
You know, it's only 10 minutes. We'll barely get through the soup and salad before.
Well, it is a verbal, semantic, and material spell. Yeah, do you have a bunch of holy water that you've been carrying around with you?
Yeah, a couple of flasks, yeah.
Okay. I'll say you got enough to do this twice, and if you
I
work
can
it
only do
into
it once because it's concentration.
Oh, I know, but I'm saying once it's over with.
Uh-huh.
If you find a clever way to work it into conversation, you could cast it again. See if you can. All right. Daunt is going to kind of swing around and back up Kravish and Maven. He's got his rapier on his hip now, as well as his fancy little dagger. Yuno is kind of, he's got his hand on his wand case, kind of like his wrist is resting on a sword's pommel. He's gonna say, "All right, anybody else got anything, or are we ready to do this?"
Let's do it.
You step forward towards it's a short but long staircase. It doesn't descend very far. It lasts further than it descends. Staircase down the way towards these huge double glass doors at the back. As you approach, with a creak and a crack, they split and swing wide open. From the inside stands, on one side, a bear folk. On the other side, what looks like a alligator folk. And they hold the doors open, and there's plenty of room for you all to enter, albeit some of you will have to be single file. You descend a set of stairs that immediately cuts to the left and winds around what feels like an empty space that this wall is sort of butting up against, and you actually take another right, and it's like you're going around until you come to a door, ever slowly descending as you went. At this door, there is what looks like a nautiloid, kind of like a spiraled shell mollusk, and you're looking down at it, so you're seeing it from above as it faces downward. It doesn't look like a mind flayer. It looks like a mollusk. And that is a golden plaque bolted to the top of this door. And after waiting a moment, Daunt is going to kind of shift his weight, and the door is going to open as he looks at Iona and then looks at the door. The door opens, and you're all instantly hit with sort of a burning incense smell. There is a cabin before you, and it looks like you kind of walked through what looks like a jetway from an airport, where there's a structure that mates with something else that is meant to be separate and move a little because it sways a little differently with the waves. And you kind of look between them as you cross the threshold, and you can see that you've just stepped onto the side of a small ship, a small boat that this tunnel winding around the inside of the back of the kestrel mates with. There is what looks like a cargo hold in this place, and it's not too long as you walk closer to the interior that you see a wide oak desk. There are 3 rather large, rather imposing, well-dressed in blue and gold colonial sailor's garb. All of them tall, rather burly, just standing on either side of the desk. And seated there, you see the captain, Captain Edward Book. He sits with his fingers crossed from the desk. There's a map on the desk, some nautical tools like a compass. There's a couple of daggers. It looks all pretty standard fare for a captain. But it's not what's in front of the captain that draws your attention, aside from the man himself. He's very tall, but very lithe, narrow at the shoulders, narrower than you'd expect for a captain. And he's in his captain's uniform. It looks very nice, but he's seated on a throne, so to speak, made of flesh. And you can smell the smell of musk, and can tell with your little, echolocation scent of smell that it's coming from this chair as it slowly undulates and very slowly wriggles and squeezes as he sits upon it. The flesh chair seems to cradle him at the shoulders, and you can see little bits of slime slowly trickling down the side of the chair. There are other things that you see as the captain raises his hand, gestures towards you. Please, sit at your leisure. And you see behind you are presented little half barrels, and they kind of put like a canvas cushion over a couple of them. And it's really up to you all. Who would like to stand? Who would like to sit? Yuno's going to sit.
I'll stand.
I'll stand.
Baronar will stand.
Okay. Daunt is going to meet eyes with you, Iona, to kind of give you an idea, like I'm right here, and he's going to stand adjacent but behind Iona. As you all settle yourselves, Kravish, what did you say? I didn't hear you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I will sit for the time being.
Okay.
Stand behind him.
Yeah, Kravish, you're kind of the centerpiece of the party, as per usual.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, you're almost a full head above the captain. He is, like I said, quite tall, and he sits before you in his throne of meat, with his mask on that you've seen him wear, and he just kind of scans all of you. None of you at this moment feel that you're being scanned psychically. And really all you hear from him is nothing but the sound of his chair, which is a kind of a low, slithering, wriggling that he doesn't address at all. And audibly, because you do know he has the ability to speak in your mind, but he speaks audibly. So, these are the adventurers I've heard so much about. You can hear him rasp from under his curtain of belts on his face.
Mm-hmm. Yes, we are the Crown Collectors. And I just wanted to take this opportunity right off to thank you so much for agreeing to transport us, as well as for your hospitality.
Edward Book kind of cocks his head to the left slightly. You must be the bard.
I am.
Who would have guessed? And his minions kind of giggle a little to themselves. So, I hear you lent more than a little help when we were beset by those feckless dogs, the Verdant Cross.
We did what we could to help.
And at that, you hear the men beside him shut up. As you see that Book is kind of leaning a bit and looking his good eye at one of his men with a stern, shut up kind of a glance. I heard it was more than a little help, Master Kravish. To which point you don't really remember introducing yourself? Personally, anyway.
Right.
It's not at all common that our passengers, our cargo, ever lifts a finger when the ship is in peril. So the fact that you stepped in speaks both to the character in your heart as well as your sense of duty. I can respect that.
I'll give him a kind of a deferential bow.
He kind of shifts his gaze, and I'm going to say that he shifts his gaze to Iona. And he's going to you can see now he has like a silver eye with like a white pupil. It's very off-putting, kind of, you're not able to completely know who he's looking at because it's kind of a negative image of an eye. He kind of shifts his gaze over to you and just says, how long has one so young been traveling with this group of adventurers?
I'm going to tell him the truth. I'm going to tell him exactly how long I've been with them. I just tell him. And I meet his gaze. And I state it very factually. So I'd say I probably give the figure in weeks rather than days, because days would just sound pretentious.
It's like those parents that have a 3-year-old. Oh, he's 36 months. Shut up.
After you hit the 1 year mark, seems
it starts getting weird, right?
Seems a little odd.
Okay, so I'm not the only one. Anyway. He just kind of you meet his gaze and he meets yours. You do not feel a probe into your mind, and yet you get the sense as he kind of visually scans you from shoulder to shoulder and the top of your head that he's probably getting a feel for who you are as a person. He picked up right away that you were young. You're not sure how he determined that, and your passive insight, he didn't really seem surprised that you're part drow and also part elf. That's something that you kind of key in on when people see you for the first time. And he just kind of looked at you as if you were anybody else. And he shifts his gaze over to Koza. And Koza, I'll say that you look rather cramped. You are sitting on a barrel that is barely big enough to not to be able to sit at, and you're crunched into a corner of the room that you'll fit. I mean, the captain's cabin is not a mansion in and of itself. It's actual physical room with limits on its geography. And he just kind of looks at you and says, Arg, you look like you've been stuck in spaces tighter than this your whole life. And he just kind of waves his hand a little, and you notice the wall next to you that feels like it's made of wood. It flexes and bows out slightly.
Ew, no. I'm gonna walk away from that wall.
And it gives you space. It makes it so your space is bigger. And if you walk away, you see that it flexes back down to where it was. Well, and he shifts his gaze over to Baranor, and I shudder to think if the wolves are with you.
The wolves are.
I shudder to think. Yeah.
Back
Okay. Far away. Baranor, as he kind of regards you, he doesn't say much. He just kind of gives you a nod, mentions something about your bravery in service of both his vessel and the Empire, and he actually kind of loses you as your attention drifts. It's not really what he's saying that is so boring. It's that your eyes rest on an object behind his left shoulder, tucked back against a wall, with there's a couple of barrels and crates in front of it too, so it's back there, but the slight glint of light of an oil lamp nearby is caught. It's a display case. And in this display case, you can see, I'm gonna have you roll perception, but this is just to see if you nat 20.
Okay. Let's see. Perception.
Roll!
A roll for the perception.
Roll!
Oh!
Which I nat 20.
Okay! All right!
Yeah! 33?
Coming in clutch.
Jesus!
All right. A natural 20, 33. So first of all, this is what you see, and because you see it so well, your perception bleeds into other people. As Captain Edward Book is kind of talking to you all, and you can tell that he's trying to be polite, but he's gruff. And so his compliments don't come easy. Obviously, it seems like he and Kravish are chatting about, their times traveling abroad, things like that, while pretty much everybody else notices this case behind him. Baranor, with your expert eyes, you can see that there is an object here that you recognize. Long ago, there was what can only be described as a meteorite that crashed into the realm of Soldanis long before there were even elves. This object, this meteorite, is known to be something that is still, first of all, it didn't disintegrate on impact. It still juts out of the earth down there. And it is revered by the elves that live there as the spawn point for all elves. At least that's the creation myth. There are 5 canisters inside of this case, and they all look like they're carrying slightly glowing green crystalline shards, and they don't look like emeralds.
They look like dice.
Yeah. Click-clack rocks.
Yeah.
There are a number of scrolls of very fine paper. I'm going to say Yuno's zeroing in on that. There is a heavily bejeweled dagger, and not for nothing, as being a bit of an expert in that arena, you can tell that this is not only mastercrafted, it's got to be magical, and it looks very rare or legendary. Not sure which. On the first row next to the canisters of crystals, you see a very well-made, very short-range pistolero. But it looks like it's expertly made, and there is a ring of blood on the barrel that looks like it was shot very close. This is what you would imagine a blood splatter would look like. And a really fancy telescope spyglass. And then behind the spyglass, next to the dagger, there's a row of 5 shiny silver or platinum rings. They all look pretty identical. And Baranor, honestly, that's all you see. You don't really hear anything the captain's saying, because you can tell it's not terribly like, for lack of a better word, plot heavy. It's just he wanted to express his gratitude. I will say that he has one of his men offer the group, whoever wants to hold it, and I do not have Yuno's bag of holding, so someone else take it. A small chest, but it's all platinum.
Ooh,
The
jeez.
chest itself is platinum.
No. The no. The chest itself is wood and like it kind of like a silvered steel banding. It's about the size of like a roll of toilet paper. And inside of it are neatly placed, almost like slotted into position on like a little velvet undercase, is what looks like 100 platinum. And he's going to kind of, as his men present this to you, he kind of gestures towards it. It is not in my custom to pay those who pay me for passage. However, that was quite a fight. And without your formidable help, the boys would have had a much harder time capturing that vessel. And then he snaps his gaze at two of his sailor comrades. At least that's what they like to tell me. And they kind of like look at each other a little nervous, awkwardly. Over his right shoulder, just for flavor, this is what you see. And mind you, there's like there's maps on the wall. There's things hanging from. It almost looks like the ship's cargo area also doubles as his cabin. Although he's made it look, like his place. But there's crates. There's stuff dangling from rope above, and you see over his other shoulder what looks like a portrait. And it is a female half-orc. Middle-aged, wearing similar outfit to what everyone else is wearing, but all also very earth tone. A little bit like what Daunt has on, actually. With a black tricorn hat with gold trim. Exactly the same hat the captain wears. You see this.
Okay. Edred Pryor Robert.
As we're talking, I'll look at that and I'm like, what a catching portrait. Your predecessor on this vessel, perhaps?
He looks like he was in the middle of like writing something on some parchment as you guys are all kind of like awkwardly sitting in your seat. He kind of stops and begins to look over his shoulder, but stops and continues writing in his little ledger. Nay, my wife.
Quite a formidable-looking sea person in her own right.
Aye, she was. Eloreta was captain of her own vessel. One that I apprenticed under, much the same way Lieutenant Ana Castillo does for me. And he kind of looks over his shoulder, catches a glance at it for a moment, and then twists back. She's gone now.
No, I'm terribly sorry.
Well, and he kind of looks at the elves and the Firbolg too. I think you guys live long. Those of us who have extended lifespans. And he kind of tips his hat that he wears towards the portrait. Have a way of outlasting those we... Well... And he just kind of goes quiet. All that to say, your assistance in the matter of the Verdant Cross, it's much appreciated. and I look forward to telling the tales of the Crown Collectors and their endeavors aboard my ship. You have my thanks. And just to move the conversation along, you all have been served dinner. This was a dinner.
Mm-hmm.
But by now, the silverware clinks against the empty plates. You were all, I mean, it's not really worth mentioning the meal. It's not amazing. It's fish, it's greens, and that's it.
Very well. And I also, express our thanks at such a generous offer towards us.
And when it seems like the conversation's wrapping up, you notice that he, by the way, hasn't been eating from a plate. Like I said, he's been kind of writing in a ledger on his desk or, making chit-chat with you all about, what little you wish to share with him, where you come from, things like that. He just kind of sweeps his gaze across the table at Kravish. It's not in my business to question the necessity for my cargo to grant passage. But I hear your charge is unique.
Yes, you would say that.
I don't know the Prince Hector personally, but can thank his father and his father for my rise in station. When I'm asked a favor from my prince, I take it seriously. He mentioned only 2 words to describe this thing ye be chasing. Blind one.
That is correct.
I would say it's natural for you to study his facial features from behind his mask rather intently at this moment.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't notice really any eureka or recognition from him as he says these words.
Mm-hmm.
As old as I am, afraid that one predates even me. But sounds ominous. Arr.
Yes, indeed. Unfortunately, due to the sensitive I don't even have to explain to you, sir, that, our ability to discuss this is somewhat limited.
Believe the military types call it classified.
Yes.
Very well, then. May your secrets be kept within the bosom of the Empire alone.
Thank you for your understanding.
And thank you for helping me ship.
And compliments to the chef. Lovely meal.
You see the large, burly, thick chest hair, brown-haired, 6 foot tall human who's kind of shifting his weight. He looks around, and the other 2, the lizard man and the shark fella, they both look at him a little with their eyes. Seems like they all...
The chef.
something was said between them. He drains his glass or his chalice of wine, puts it down, stands to his feet, and you can see now that I need a perception check or an investigation check from everybody that wants to look at let's get a look at really what's going on with this room, as far as, how does it fit together? It's weird. This wasn't here, by the way, Baranor. You can tell immediately that his throne and all this was not here when you looked through that doorway. You saw an empty space.
Well, yeah, there wasn't even a ship there when we looked through.
Nope.
Right?
Well, it's not a ship, it's a boat.
Right. There was when we looked through it, the boat was not attached.
Yeah, there was nothing there. It was a big empty space.
Yeah.
You can see that his throne and his desk. Actually, it doesn't even look like his desk, but his throne is not attached to the floor. Or I should say the floor that his throne is on a platform that looks like it's fit into the floor.
That's a terrible.
Almost like it's not connected. Captain Edward Book stands to his feet, again, very tall. He now towers over all of you. And then he rises into the air a few inches taller. Well, I bid ye all good night. I believe I'm gonna take to the waves and enjoy the moon at this hour. And as he does, you see all 6 of these large sailors start to walk around you and put up like these struts off of the floor, and you're realizing that they're unhooking some kind of a mechanical entrapment device, because as they pull the last steel rod out of place, there's this hollow nook where his chair was. It detaches, and you see his throne start to pull away from the desk. And as it does, they jump down to a platform just ahead of what's moving away. And as they do, they slide these slats down that sort of close this empty space, and things buckle behind them as these boards slide and kind of like fit together. And you hear this click clack. There's still a couple of sailors in the room, but this small crew, and you can see through a window at the back a small sail ship where the captain's seat is at the back of it, emerges behind you and starts to drift to the right away into the night.
He's so weird.
So what is left in the room that we're in?
Everything. The only thing that's gone is his throne and like the wall behind where his throne was, but that got like folded up and over as he departed. And you could see that this small boat that he was on, his throne was like at the back where he would, it looked like he was able to kind of oversee its movement from back there. But everything else in the room is where it was. The desk is even there. There's just like what looks like overlapping boards on the floor and the wall behind it where that all got closed up and locked in place.
Okay.
So the portrait and the display case left with the captain?
No. They were off to the left and to the right of him.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
You had mentioned that they were over his shoulder, so I'm thinking directly behind him.
Yeah, I mean, they were they were over his shoulder, but behind him, but, the sliver of what left, it was narrow enough that this was not attached.
Okay.
Yep. Yuno stands to his feet. Daunt kind of backs up a little, and just... Daunt is going to look at everyone and say, all right, is everybody still you? He did not dominate anyone subconsciously?
Not that I know of.
I look over towards one of the few remaining crew still in the room. I was like, dessert? Coffee? No? Okay.
There's only 2 left, and they weren't the ones that had that little interaction. They didn't give any indication that they cooked or did not cook anything.
Okay.
I'm going to say one of them kind of looks at you awkwardly and pulls a pouch out of his side belt, and it's got chewing tobacco in it. And he goes, "Yeah, you want some of that?"
I must politely decline. Thank you, then.
Yeah, he kind of gives you a shrug, like, more for me kind of a thing, and pulls a big plug out of it and stuffs it in his cheek. The evening does come to a close, Yuno is going to kind of bid you all good night, make his way into the back. You notice that those red shoulder pauldrons he had are a different shape now. Not quite as spiky, a little more rounded edges. He disappears. Daunt is also going to kind of stretch a little, and he's going to make a little insight check. And yeah, he's going to kind of look at you all and kind of give that "Are you okay?" kind of a nod, one at a time. And Baranor, he kind of pats you on the shoulder and rests his gaze on Iona for a moment, and kind of taps the side of your shoulder with his hand and gives you a nod as well. And he's going to also retreat into the bowels of the crew quarters. I'll say that as you round that staircase around that empty space, you can see now that the ship is gone. The small boat, rather, it's gone. And then, the crew closes the double pane glass doors behind you as you emerge.
Okay, well, that was weird.
Is there anything anybody wishes to do tonight? Keep in mind, you are due to dock with Baraxos, which is the small port military outpost on the edge of the Morov Islands. You're due to land tomorrow, probably not till maybe midday or early evening. Yuno and Daunt have bid their goodnight. Into the mansion they go.
Okay. I'm going to spend a little bit of time reviewing the notes and maps from when we were at the Wizard's Tower.
Okay.
Just to kind of refresh myself on, who we're looking for, what we're looking for. Just to get myself back up to speed. Sure.
Yeah, I mean, you have a pretty good grasp on the information you've gleaned. I won't make you roll for it. You're looking to hit the Morov Islands, probably not spend very much time in Baraxos. It's just a military outpost in the jungle. And you have to cross the large central island, of which you don't know the name of yet.
Mm-hmm.
You have to cross that to the western coast of that island is through what you've gleaned to be a pretty dense jungle. You're pretty sure there's a volcano somewhere on the island, and then crossing a meadow or a field of what's called you just know this about the Morov Islands. There's a flora called sawgrass. So you're just kind of mentally preparing, like, what do we do about this? It's not fun to walk through, that kind of a thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And, the far west coast is where the little known about city of Anorak rests. That is the home of the Tieflings, where perhaps the Empire has sort of allowed them to exist without interference. You don't know how many Tieflings live there. If it's only Tieflings, you're not sure.
We're gonna stick out so bad.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We stick out just about everywhere we go.
Day in the life for me, honey.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Baranor, Luna is going to kind of nudge a very tired Fenrir, and she's going to nuzzle your ring.
Yeah, I'll put her in and put Fenrir in the ring.
Yeah, he zaps in there, and she's just going to curl up on your bed, and she's going to look at you for about 3 seconds. And she gives you a very motherly look. And then she's going... Oh, yeah, you do.
I'm like, do I know why?
Yeah, you do.
Okay.
Be careful.
You've gotten this look before when you were about to cross a treacherous ravine, or when you are taking a shot at a large grizzly bear. You've gotten this look from her before.
Yeah.
And she kind of gives you a little tuft growl, the same way that she growls at Fenrir when he is picking a fight with his older brother or something like that.
I know. I'll be careful.
So, Baranor,
Yeah.
what do you do with the rest of your evening?
So first of all, I'm going to take a stroll on the deck. Kind of go near where the entrance to the captain's cabin was, or captain's ship cabin area was, and see if it is still guarded.
Okay. I'm going to have your perception check of 32 carry.
Okay.
You just kind of made that. As you're on high alert, for obvious reasons, maybe
Don't
not.
steal the gun.
Maybe not super obvious, but you manage to kind of stroll your way nonchalant, giving yourself a little half a whistle, and you kind of like flash your eyes towards the double doors, and you can see the moonlight cast down into the ocean behind the ship through those doors, through that empty space where the ship mates with it.
Okay.
You do not see anybody standing there at the moment, and you also notice, and the rest of you notice this as well, as some of you, I'm sure, make your way towards the mansion entrance at the, in the crew quarter area. That there's a shift change going on right now, and many of the crew are going below decks. It looks like maybe a skeleton crew of 6 or 7 or such are manning the rails. It looks like there's a rather experienced, large, tall, bulky elf at the wheel at the moment. And that person is currently kind of looking behind her as she holds the wheel, as she looks like she's trying to sort of augment her trajectory. So for the moment, no. Double doors are wide open.
Okay.
Or not wide open. They are clear.
I'm going to go to an area of the deck that maybe is out of sight of a lot, as best out of sight as I can.
Okay.
And then I'm going
Give me let's have a stealth check to get you there. I know what you're going to do.
Okay.
Let's have you stealth your way there so no one really sees you entering the space where no one can see you.
27.
Yeah. I mean, you're able to kind of just casually, like you're going to bed, walk around until you come to a small alcove behind the quartermaster's station, where there are a number of rolls of rope, a couple of crates and barrels, looks like some auxiliary storage. It's dark. The clouds look like they're semi-covering the moon at this exact moment, which is when you take your chance at the dim light. You sneak around.
And then I will cast invisibility on myself.
You go completely invisible. You are now able to roll stealth at advantage, which I'll need another one now. Let's see if you emerge without making noise.
24.
Holy moly. Holy moly. You are now freely invisible.
Okay. And I will go back to the door and see if it's locked.
It is locked, but with your expertise in picking locks, you've come across a lot of locked doors in your day, Baranor. This one is, fortunately, not magically sealed. It is a physical lock. However,
Is it trapped?
Is it trapped? I'll take an investigation.
Okay. That becomes a 22.
So it's got like circular handles, and it's got what looks like a very, very expensive locking mechanism behind a ornate gold stamped and embroidered kind of keyhole.
Mm-hmm.
It's very fancy, these doors. They're like red oak, and they've got like tall French door glass windows. So it's a very elaborate mechanism, but it doesn't look like a difficult lock, simply because you get the feeling that this is a fancy, expensive lock for fancy, expensive people to lock their door, not their treasure chest.
Right.
So you're going to have to roll a pretty decent strike on this lock, but you're pretty sure that you can do this. And at the moment, you are invisible. You are not seen.
Okay. I'm going to pick the lock. Which
Alrighty.
should not drop my invisibility if I'm reading the spell right.
No, that would be stupid.
37.
So you insert your tools, and you're choosing probably your best set that you've got. What'd you say? I missed it. Oh man, what'd you say?
I said phrasing.
you hey, these are your tools of your craft.
Yes.
And you grab, you take your pick, you grab your fork, and you insert them. Let's just keep going into the hole, and you can tell that there are 8 tumblers on this lock. Your pick glances the first and locks it. Easy. This one is the first tumbler that hits the key. The second one's not so easy, and it requires some finagling. The third and fourth are easier still. They look like they maybe were lower tumblers and hit the key before the second one. And your pick gets stuck on the fifth. It's a little annoying. So you back it up. Try again. Slide it past the 6th, the 7th, and the 8th. At the very back, it has a retractor pin, which is something you weren't expecting. You know that this is a pin that only the key it's designed for will respond to. Your pick is not designed for this pin. If you had a master-crafted set with a specific retractor pin pick on it, it would be all right, but this one is not designed for it. So you quietly panic a little, realizing that if you retract it now, you risk destroying the lock, which would definitely be noticed by someone. And it's not until you feel the pick glance up into an empty space. Somehow, the tumbler was activated, and your pick slides back. You spin it slightly counterclockwise, and it opens. You hear a distinct click. You're able to pull your pick free. The door opens a centimeter before you grab it silently. Do you enter?
Yes.
Quick as a flash, you slip into the open door and close it with just the fingertips. Close it with a very slight click. You can feel that lock re-engage. You listen. You don't hear anything but the waves behind the empty wall next to you. You spin around, and that familiar staircase wrapping around to the captain's cabin lies before you. And that is where we will take our break for the night.
Oh, okay.
Fucking right.
Hadn't you learned nothing?
Never.
It's too late now. He's in the shit.
He's deep.
Like me getting shot in the face wasn't enough of a lesson.
It's okay. It's okay. We'll figure it out.
We all have good plausible deniability.
I have no idea what's going on.
My orders come from higher up, okay?
Oh my god. The fucking note.
The fucking note.
But you don't know anything about that, so
Hey,
this is all on me.
plausible deniability. Don't make me have to kill people. I'll do it, but I won't like it.
Well, kill people.
My goal
That
is
would be
to
a
not-
very.
My goal is not to get caught.
You really hate to get keel hauled so close to the end.
Oh man. Oh, the keel haul. Jesus. That's where they drag you from underneath the boat and you scrape all along the barnacles on the bottom of the ship.
Ugh.
It's supposed to kill you, but I feel like it would kind of take a while to do that.
Yeah, I think sometimes people did survive, but it was very much like if you've messed up enough to get keel hauled,
Yeah.
people don't really care if you do or not.
Right. It's like the Blood Eagle of the pirate world. It's like it's only reserved for the really bad people. So.
Like breaking into the captain's office and stealing his prized possessions.
Oh, definitely. Who
Yeah,
knows
like
what
that.
a mind flayer? What do you think a mind flayer would do if you tried to steal
He's
from
gonna
him?
suck
And
your brains out.
Yeah, so, yeah.
he's gonna perform. What is it called? Is it extraction?
I'm just imagining the brain bug.
Extract. Yeah, I think that's what it is. Extract brain.
He's just gonna rustle through your brain like you're ruffling through a file cabinet looking for a tax return. He's just gonna roll all through there.
See, he's gonna have to like prison shank you a bunch of times because you only take an average of 55 points of damage when he's biting you. But if it reduces you to 0 hit points, you are killed, and he eats your brain.
Okay. Well, let's hope that doesn't happen.
Yeah, let's hope that doesn't happen. Baranor, I hope that doesn't happen to Baranor.
I'm
Me
just
too, I like
imagining
Baranor.
the brain bug from Star Trek Troopers. So
Yeah. Sucked
Or
his
the brain
brains
bug
out.
or from Star Trek 2.
Yeah, but that goes in his ear.
yeah, I'm
Yeah,
like,
the eel.
do you want me to become a thrall? Like,
No, we do not. We don't want that. We're gonna have to
Just if you did, you'd be a pirate
Pop,
thrall.
yeah.
just pop him a few times.
Maybe that's everyone in his service has a tadpole in their ear. Maybe that's how it goes. You know. I think Baldur's Gate 3 has shown us that doesn't mean that you automatically become a mind flayer.
Those were special ones.
Yeah, they were especially. It was
Special
rigged
magic
from the
one.
beginning.
It was
It
rigged
was.
from the start. Everyone's a
I'm
thrall.
still convinced that the Emperor is the one who puts it in your head in the first place
Me too.
in that opening scene.
I accept
Oh,
that canon.
Yeah, because hold on, he died.
Okay.
Does he die? Does he die at the end of that cutscene?
No, so
No.
you never see
Or does-
that mind
do you
player
fight with
again.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, not really.
This
Yeah,
is
it probably was.
This is before the Nautiloid starts like leaping through realities and shit.
Right.
And he is just done putting a tadpole in your brain and in Lae'zel's.
In Lae'zel's, and I'm sure he did Shadowheart too.
He walks out the tunnel past 2 dead mind flayers.
Right.
How did those mind flayers die unless he killed them?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The conspiracy mounts. So
Like, nobody's ever been able to confirm it, but
that
you
sounds
have
like
a
it
hard
makes
time-
sense to me.
That's my
you have a
canon.
hard time convincing me that he isn't the one who puts it in your head in the first place.
Yeah, why not?
Hate
I
that
end up
guy.
killing him. I've killed him twice.
Yes. Always.
And
Every time.
looking back
Screw that
again,
guy.
the fact that he switches sides so easily at the end,
Yeah.
it just baffles me. Like, this whole time he's like, oh, let's not let the Elder Brain win. And then suddenly at the end, you say like, "Oh, I'm not on your side anymore." He's like, "Okay, I flip sides."
Yeah. Well, in contrast to that, you get the feeling that no, it's okay. You get the feeling that Captain Edward Book is a man of conviction. He doesn't seem flippant, or I'm going to say that nobody really gets a feeling like he's evil or good. You're not sure. It's hard to say. Feels more complicated than that.
True neutral, I see.
People didn't think Baldurin was evil,
right? Yeah. So I tell you what, folks, I was going to do a one-shot next session, but I think I'm going to do another. We're going to end the ship arc with next session, which I'm seeing is the 21st of February.
That works for me.
Yep.
Shocking.
Should work for everybody. And yeah, let's see where Baranor, what courage he's got to pull out of where. Some dark hole of his intellect and roguish abilities, and have you guys wake up in the morning, ready yourselves for your docking with Baraxos.
None the wiser.
None the wiser. Yeah, I'm excited. I want to. I'm not going to have complete puzzle trap ready for next session at all. I promise. But we'll have to just see what it takes for Baranor to do whatever it is he wants to do. I don't know what the rest of you are talking about. Some note. I don't know what you're talking about. But yeah, that was a lot of fun, guys. This has been a pretty role-play heavy mini arc, as there's not a whole lot of places to travel to and run into monsters. You guys have had me kind of sitting on the edge of my seat with what y'all been getting up to, so that was fun.
I've been playing cards.
There's time for all of that, dude. Trust me.
I'm talking to the other people.
Yeah. So I'll see you guys in 2 weeks. Everybody have a safe and fun time off. Those of you experiencing crazy weather like me, in whatever form that takes. Be safe, and I'll see you guys later.
Alrighty.
Bye.
All right. Bye.